Greetings, Lore Masters! Tonight our chronicle covers the hidden steel and haunted relics scattered across the grey landscape of Skyrim. We journey from the pomp of crowded throne rooms to the silence of forgotten ice caves, seeking out the weapons that aren't just handed to you for showing up. We see the glint of power from behind a locked door, the faint glow of an artifact half buried in the dust of a Dwemer ruin, the dark shape of a blade resting on an ancient sacrificial altar. These are the tools of power that demand blood, or wit, or simply the willingness to walk into a cave that everyone else is smart enough to avoid. Let's be honest, the Dragonborn is less a hero, and more a walking, shouting, magically inclined pawnshop. You probably have 17 iron helmets, a drawer full of mismatched soul gems, and 9 different swords you intend to use someday, but you just can't bear to drop them. But tonight, we are looking for the special items, the ones with names, the ones with stories, the ones that change the way you play, or at least make you feel incredibly guilty. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. It's a small click, but it means the world to a sleepy narrator in a dark room. And in the comments, let us know where you're listening from and what time it is. It's always comforting to know we're all in this quiet night together. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. Our story, our long list of profoundly dangerous and ill-advised acquisitions, begins not in a dragon's lair, but in a place of supposed safety. It begins in Dragon's Reach, the high fortress of Whiterun, with the smell of wood smoke from the central fire pit and the endless droning advice of Proventus Avenici. The Dragonborn has been here many times. They have shouted at the Jarl, absorbed the soul of Mehrunes on the plains below, and perhaps even purchased the modest, cosy confines of Breezeholm. They are a friend to the city, a thane, which is perhaps what makes the whisper so much easier to hear. It doesn't start with a quest marker, it starts with a rumour. The barmaid at the Bannered Mare, Hulda, might mention it. All's well in Dragon's Reach, she'll say, though I've heard strange tales of the Jarl's children. The Jarl's children. Balgruuf the Greater, a man who carries the weight of a civil war on his shoulders, has difficult kids. But one of them, the boy Nelkir, has taken a dark turn. He is no longer just sullen, he is listening. The Dragonborn, a hero whose primary skill set involves eavesdropping and snooping, finds the boy. He's often in the main hall, lingering near the fire, whispering insults to the court. But sometimes he's somewhere else. He's in the dark, dusty, unused corners of the castle. If the Dragonborn follows, they find him in the basement, a place that smells of old wine and older dust. He's standing in front of a simple wooden door, a door that has a prominent ornate keyhole, and he is talking to it. "I'm not afraid of you," the boy mutters, his voice a mix of bravado and terror. "I know you're in there, watching me." If the Dragonborn speaks to him, the child is cold, distant, and unsettlingly perceptive. He talks of the whispering lady who has befriended him. She tells him secrets. Secrets about his father. Secrets about the court. Secrets about the Dragonborn themselves. She lives, he says, behind that door, and she has been waiting. This is the beginning of the Dragonborn's entanglement with Mephala, the Daedric Prince of Lies, secret, sex, and murder. She is the web spinner, the one who finds joy not in the act of killing, but in the intricate, terrible tapestry of betrayal that leads to it. The Whispering Lady tasks the Dragonborn. The door is locked, and only 2 people have the key, the Jarl himself, or his court wizard, Farengar Secret Fire. The Dragonborn, by now a master of the light-fingered borrowing that passes for heroism, finds their way to the Jarl's chambers or the wizard's study. A quick check of a pocket, a silent lift from a bedside table, and the ancient heavy key is theirs, back in the basement. The click of the key in the lock is unnaturally loud in the silence. The door swings open on complaining hinges, revealing a small, forgotten room. It is choked with cobwebs. There are no piles of gold, no grand, glowing chest, just a simple table. On that table rests a book and a sword. The sword is a 2-handed blade, ebony dark, but it lacks the ornate, malevolent glow of other Daedric artifacts. It looks plain, almost mundane. The book, Admonition Against the Ebony Blade, is a warning. It is a scrap of lore that few stop to read. It explains that the blade is known by other names, The vampire, the leech, it does not grow strong by being sharpened on a grindstone. It is wetted with the blood of deceit. The Dragonborn takes the blade, and the Whispering Lady, Mephala, speaks to them directly. She laughs. The sword is dormant, she explains. Its power is locked away. To awaken it, the Dragonborn must use it to kill those who trust them. Friends, companions, spouses. This is the central horrific mechanic of the Ebony Blade. It has an absorb health enchantment, but it's pitifully weak. To strengthen it, the Dragonborn must commit 10 acts of profound personal betrayal. The Dragonborn stands there, the dark sword heavy in their hands. They think of their companions. They think of Lydia, who is probably stuck on the stairs, complaining about being sworn to carry their burdens. A dark thought arises. Is this a burden, Lydia? This is where the fan community has, with terrifying efficiency, charted the path of least resistance. The debates rage. Who counts as a friend? Can you just hire the mercenary in Windhelm, lead him to a quiet alley and cut him down? Does that count as trust? What about the dog? Barbas, the talking hound from the quest for Clavica's vial, is technically a Daedric entity himself. Would killing him even count? Or is that just rude? The community, in its infinite dark wisdom, found the loophole, the ritual stone, the power to raise the dead just once a day. The Dragonborn can find a follower, any follower. They can lead them to the sacrificial altar at the shrine of Boethia. Might as well double dip on Daedric quests. They kill them. The blade gets one charge. Then they use the ritual stone. The follower rises, a silent glowing ghost of their former self, and the Dragonborn kills them again. And again. And again. 10 murders, 1 body. It's efficient. It's gamey. And it's the kind of sociopathic logic that Mephala herself would likely find. Absolutely hilarious. But for the Dragonborn who chooses the intended path, the journey is dark. They must find someone who calls them friend. Perhaps it's Faendal from Riverwood, the archer they helped win a woman's heart. They ask him to follow. They journey to a beautiful, secluded spot. Wait here, the Dragonborn says. And as Faendal turns to look at the view, the blade is drawn. The whisper of steel, a life cut short. And the blade, it hums. The enchantment grows stronger. The whispers from the blade itself become more affectionate, more pleased. Yes, it seems to say. More. This is the essence of Mephala. She's not Molag Bal, who screams for domination. She's not Mehrunes Dagon, who demands raw destruction. She is the whisper in the ear, the seed of doubt, the lie told to a lover. The Ebony Blade is not a weapon of war. It is a tool of assassination. But more than that, it is an instrument of narrative. It forces the Dragonborn to create a story of betrayal. With each kill, the absorb health enchantment grows, capping out at a powerful 30 points of life stolen with every single swing. It becomes one of the most powerful one-handed, or rather two-handed, weapons in the game, despite its speed being that of a one-handed sword. It's a technical anomaly, a bug that became a feature, fitting for a weapon that breaks all the rules, both moral and physical. When fully powered, the Dragonborn, the hero of Skyrim, is wielding a monument to 10 broken friendships. 10 lives snuffed out not in the heat of battle, but in a cold, calculated act of sacrifice for personal power. It's the kind of weapon that's perfect for a stealth archer build, mostly because it's so heavy it makes you want to avoid combat, but also because it just feels wrong. The Jarl's son, Nelkir, is never cured. The voice at the door is silenced, but the whispers have simply moved. They now live in the Dragonborn's inventory. The Ebony Blade, a dark, silent passenger, a reminder of the price of power, and the first truly unique and uniquely terrifying weapon on our journey. From the creeping, personal horror of Mephala's whispers, we move to something far less subtle. We leave the Jarl's smoky hall, the scent of secrets and betrayal clinging to the Ebony Blade, and travel north. North, to the icy coast of the Pale, to the town of Dawnstar. This journey begins not with a child's dark secret, but with a piece of junk mail. Sometime after the Dragonborn reaches a respectable level, around level 20, when they're just starting to feel like they haven't made a terrible mistake by becoming an adventurer, a courier will find them. He will find them in the middle of a blizzard, or just as they're about to absorb a dragon's soul. "Got something for you," he'll mutter, blissfully unaware of the apocalyptic battle he just jogged through. He hands the Dragonborn a pamphlet. "Museum opening in Dawnstar," it reads. "See the mythic dawn." A museum. To the apocalyptic death cult that tried to end the world a couple of 100 years ago, it's the Tamrielic equivalent of opening a history of polio exhibit, complete with a petting zoo. The Dragonborn, whose curiosity is only surpassed by their desire for loot, feels compelled to investigate. Dawnstar is a miserable little town. It smells of fish and cold salt. The permanent grey gloom of the sky is reflected in the faces of its citizens, who are all currently suffering from nightmares, but that's a different Dark Prince's problem for a different night. In this bleak town, the Dragonborn finds a new, hopeful building, the Museum of Silas Vesuvius. Inside, Silas is a beacon of misplaced enthusiasm. He is, to put it mildly, a colossal nerd. He's obsessed. He greets the Dragonborn with breathless excitement, eager to show off his tiny, sad collection of burnt books in a single, tattered robe. He explains that his ancestor was a proud member of the Mythic Dawn, the cult that served Mehrunes Razor, the Daedric Prince of Destruction, Ambition, and Catastrophe. Silas sees them not as world-ending terrorists, but as revolutionaries, misunderstood scholars. He's the ancient world equivalent of a history buff who thinks the antagonists of every story were just ahead of their time. Silas, it turns out, has a goal. He believes he has located the scattered pieces of Mehrunes Razor, the legendary dagger of the prince himself. He just needs a business partner to go retrieve them. A partner, in this case, meaning someone heavily armed who is willing to delve into monster-filled holes for a living. The Dragonborn, fitting the description perfectly, agrees. The quest is a scavenger hunt across Skyrim. The Dragonborn must find 3 pieces. The pommel is simple enough, held by a man named Jorgen in Morthal. He can be persuaded, intimidated, or most likely pickpocketed. It's a simple start. The hilt is held by a band of orcs in Crack-Tusk Keep. The Dragonborn must fight their way through a fortress filled with warriors who are frankly just trying to live their lives before a murder hobo bursts in to steal a piece of metal. The keep smells of forge smoke, drying pelts, and stale blood. The Dragonborn cuts through them, finds the hilt, and quietly leaves, the orcs' well-structured society slightly worse for wear. The final pieces, the shards of the blade itself, are in a place called Dead Man's Respite. It is predictably a Nordic barrow. It's a tomb, and it smells like one. The dry mineral scent of ancient stone, the powdery dust of millennia, old bones, and the faint, sharp ozone and frost tang of the Draugr who still patrol its halls. The Dragonborn delves deep, fighting through restless dead and solving the kind of rudimentary puzzles that ancient Nords apparently found baffling. At the end, in a place of honour, lie the broken shards of the dagger. With all 3 pieces in hand, the Dragonborn returns to Dawnstar. Silas is overjoyed. He is weeping with happiness. He pays the Dragonborn their fee, and for a moment it seems the quest is over. But then Silas, trembling with a fanboy's excitement, proposes one last thing. He wants to take the pieces to a shrine of Mehrunes Razor. He believes the prince will be so pleased, so impressed by Silas's devotion, that he will reforge the dagger for him. This is, of course, a terrible idea, and the Dragonborn, sensing more loot, is all for it. They meet Silas at the shrine, a dark, jagged, imposing altar high in the snowy mountains. The wind howls, carrying the promise of a very angry god. Silas places the pieces on the altar. He begins to pray, his voice cracking with devotion. "Lord Dagon, I have returned your artifact. I am the descendant of your faithful servant. A voice, deeper than the mountain, colder than the ice, cuts him off. He served me well, but he failed. Mehrunes Razor, the Prince of Destruction, manifests. He is not pleased. He's not sentimental. He has no patience for this grovelling mortal. Dagon explains that he doesn't care about Silas's lineage. He cares about power. He turns his attention to the Dragonborn. Here, he says, is a real champion, a vessel of power. Dagon makes a new offer. Kill Silas. Kill this snivelling worm, and the razor will belong to the Dragonborn. Silas panics. No! We were partners. I paid you. Please, don't. Here, the Dragonborn faces a choice. they can spare Silas. Dagon, disgusted, will simply withdraw, leaving the broken pieces on the altar and an inconsolable Silas. Silas will flee back to his museum, lock the door, and the Dragonborn will be left with some gold and the memory of a very awkward moment. Or the Dragonborn can do what they do best. The whisper of steel, a pained cry cut short. Silas crumples to the stone. Dagon laughs. Well done, champion. The pieces on the altar flare with a sudden, violent, dark red light. They lift into the air, swirling and melting, reforming into a single, elegant and utterly menacing Daedric dagger. It settles back onto the altar, waiting. Mehrunes Razor. The Dragonborn picks it up. It's small, just a dagger. But its enchantment is one of the most terrifying and, frankly, hilarious in all of Tamriel. Every swing has a 1.98% chance to instantly kill almost any opponent. This is where the fan community has its endless debate. Is a 1.98% chance good when you could just enchant a Daedric dagger with 50 points of frost damage and 50 points of fire damage and turn every enemy into a freezer-burned barbecue? The pure damage per second mathematicians say no. They say the Razor is a gimmick. They are, of course, wrong. They are missing the point of Mehrunes Dagon. Dagon is not the prince of reliable enchantments. He is the prince of catastrophe. The Razor is not a tool. It's a portable, localized, random apocalypse. To use it is to gamble. The Dragonborn can walk up to a sleeping bandit chief. Stab. The chief wakes up, angry. Stab, stab, stab. The chief is now very annoyed, and then, on the fifth swing, shing. The sound of the enchantment procs. The soul is ripped from the body. The bandit chief, at 100% health, simply dies. It's the sheer, unpredictable joy of it. The Dragonborn can be facing an ancient dragon that has just landed. They are a lowly level 25, way out of their depth. They pull out the razor. The dragon breathes fire. The Dragonborn, on fire, runs up and just starts frantically stabbing at its ankle. Stab. Nothing. Stab. Nothing. Stab. Shing. The dragon, a creature of myth and legend, a being of immense power, just drops dead. This is the essence of Dagon. It is the chaos of revolution. It's the sudden, unpreventable earthquake. It is not the subtle, personal betrayal of Mehrunes Blade, which requires careful planning and the sacrifice of trust. The Ebony Blade is a dark novel. Mehrunes' Razor is a lightning strike. This is an artifact steeped in lore that most players in their rush will miss. This very dagger, this bane of the rightful, is the same weapon that, in the hands of the mythic Dawn, assassinated Uriel Septim Seven's sons and bodyguard, kicking off the Oblivion Crisis. Silas wasn't just collecting a souvenir. He was trying to bring back the murder weapon that started the last apocalypse. His death is not just a betrayal, it's an ironic and fitting end. The Dragonborn, of course, doesn't care about any of this. They just stabbed a man for a cool knife. They loot Silas's body, take the key to his museum, and proceed to walk back to Dawnstar, empty the entire building of its priced artifacts, and sell them to the local blacksmith. They leave Dawnstar, the little dagger warm at their hip, a tiny engine of pure random chance. Every battle, from a mudcrab to a giant, is now a lottery, and the Dragonborn always plays the odds. The Razor is cold, but the power it represents is a fire, a chaotic spark of chance that makes the Dragonborn feel like a favourite of the gods. But not all gods deal in the clean, sudden finality of a lightning strike. Some prefer a slower, grinding, and far more personal form of destruction. The journey from Dawnstar is long, taking the Dragonborn southwest, across the vast frozen tundra, through the rocky passes of the Reach, until they arrive at the city of Markarth. Markarth, a city built inside the bones of a Dwemer fortress, perched over a roaring, thundering waterfall. The air is permanently damp, smelling of wet stone, forge smoke, and something coppery. The smell of blood from the Sidna mine, the forced labour prison that sits at the city's heart. The entire place is a monument to oppression, from the ancient Dwemer who enslaved the farmer, to the Nords who conquered the native Forsworn, to the Silverblood family who now runs the town like a personal fiefdom. It is, in short, the perfect place to find our next artifact. The Dragonborn, perhaps looking for the market, or just wandering the stone-carved streets, finds a house. It's unremarkable. save for the man standing outside it, staring at the door with a mixture of righteous fury and profound nervousness. He wears the heavy armour and hood of a vigilant of Stendarr, the god of mercy. His name is Tyrannus. He stops the Dragonborn, identifying them as a fellow warrior. He explains that this house is wrong. It's been abandoned for years. People who go in, they don't come out, or they come out screaming. He is here to cleanse it in the name of Stendarr, but he senses a powerful Daedric presence within. He asks the Dragonborn, who looks reassuringly capable of violence, to back him up. 2 pairs of eyes are better than 1, he says. The Dragonborn, whose moral compass is now just a spinning needle that points toward loot, agrees. The moment the door is unlocked, the air changes. It's not just dark, it's heavy. The house is a wreck. Furniture is overturned, dust lies thick as snow, and there is a palpable feeling of being watched. Tyrannus, for all his bravado, is clearly terrified. He walks forward, his mace drawn. "Stendarr, grant us strength," he mutters. A voice, deep and resonant and filled with a grinding metallic cruelty, echoes through the house. "Weak! You are all so weak!" The Dragonborn and Tyrannus push forward. The house fights them. A cup flies off a shelf. A chair skitters across the floor. The voice mocks them, laughs at the Vigilant's prayers. "Stendarr cannot help you here, little Vigilant. This is my house." They push deeper into the main room, and suddenly the house acts. The door slams shut behind them, the sound a final booming thud. A cage of spiked metal explodes from the floor, trapping them. The voice is louder now, directly in their minds. It is Molag Bal, the Daedric prince of domination, enslavement and corruption. "Look at you!" he snarls, his voice a gravelly smooth purr of absolute malice. "Trapped! Like the vermin you are." Tyrannus in a panic rounds on the Dragonborn. "This is your fault. You're one of them, a Daedra worshipper." He raises his mace, his faith replaced by pure animal terror. Molag Bal laughs. He sees the truth. One of you must die. One of you must serve. Fight. Kill him. Prove your strength. This is not a choice. This is a command. Tyrannus, driven mad by the prince's power, attacks. The Dragonborn is forced to defend themselves. The fight is short, ugly, and pathetic. It happens in a cramped, spiked cage in a dusty, haunted house. There is no glory in it. Just the wet thud of a blow and the clatter of the Vigilant's mace as it falls from his dead hands. The cage retracts. The house is silent except for the Dragonborn's breathing. "Good," Molag Bal purrs. "A worthy vessel, but your service is not yet complete." A hidden door opens, leading to a dark, cold basement. At the bottom of the stairs is a shrine, a black, corrupted altar, and on it, a rusty, pathetic, completely mundane mace. Molag Bal explains the situation. This is his altar, but it has been desecrated. A priest of Boethia, the Prince of Plots, his hated rival, has been befouling it. This priest, an orc named Logrolf the Willful, has defied him. Molag Bal does not want Logrolf dead. Not yet. He wants him brought here. He wants his will, his very soul broken. He wants him to submit. The Dragonborn, now thoroughly implicated in this dark compact, accepts. It is a simple task. Find Logrolf. He has been captured by the Forsworn, the very people his new Nordic masters displaced. The irony is lost on everyone. The Dragonborn travels to a windswept rocky fortification, a nest of bones, furs, and angry warriors. They cut a bloody path through the Forsworn, a whirlwind of steel and magic, until they find the orc, tied and defiant. Logrolf the Willful is, to put it kindly, a jerk. He is arrogant, rude, and utterly unimpressed. When the Dragonborn cuts him free, he scoffs. "You're too late. They already took everything. Now get out of my way." The Dragonborn explains. "Molag Bal sent me. He demands you return to his altar." The orc laughs. "That whimpering child? I spit on him. I will go back, and I will defile his altar again just to hear him whine." He shoves past the Dragonborn and begins the long journey back to Markarth. The Dragonborn follows, a sense of grim inevitability settling over them. They return to the house. It is silent. They go to the basement. Logrolf is there, just as he promised, standing before the altar, shouting his defiance. "You came, little priest," Molag Bal's voice rumbles. And the cage springs again, trapping the orc. "You are so willful." But every will can be broken. The prince turns his attention to the Dragonborn. "Take the mace," he commands, indicating the rusty weapon on the altar. "Teach him humility. Beat him until he submits." This is the moment that separates this quest from all others. This is not a quick, clean murder for Dagon. This is not the calculated, shadowy betrayal for Mephala. This is torture. The Dragonborn must pick up the mace. They must approach the cage. Logrolf spits at them. "Do your worst. Boethia will give me the strength to defy this worm." The Dragonborn swings. The mace connects with a crack. The orc groans. "Again," Molag Bal commands. The Dragonborn swings again. Crack. "He still defies me. Break him." This continues. The Dragonborn must beat a helpless, caged man over and over. With each blow, Logrolf's voice cracks. His defiance wavers. He begs. He pleads. And finally he breaks. "No more, please. I submit. I submit, Lord Molag Bal. Have mercy." The prince is delighted. He is broken, as all mortals can be broken. He then commands the priest to pledge his soul to him. The orc, sobbing, does so. "And now, priest," Molag Bal says, his voice dripping with triumphant scorn, "you may die." The cage spikes slam inward. Logrolf is impaled, his broken body slumping to the ground. The fan community, for all its love of dark lore, struggles with this. This is not heroic. It's not even anti-heroic. It's monstrous. Many fans debate if this is the most evil act the Dragonborn can commit. Is it worse than joining the Dark Brotherhood? Is it worse than feeding on your allies for Mephala? The consensus is often yes, because it's not a single act of violence. It's a protracted, personal and gleeful act of breaking another being's mind. This, of course, is Molag Bal's entire thing. This is the prince whose very nature is violation. It's an obscure, dark piece of lore often missed that the very first vampire, La Beol, was not a willing participant. She was a priestess of Arkay whom Molag Bal violated, and in her death and screaming rebirth the curse of vampirism was born. He is the king of rape, the father of vampires, and this quest is the most direct, unfiltered expression of his nature in the entire game. His task complete, the prince's voice softens, if such a word can be used. "Well done, my champion. The mace is yours. It is no longer a rusty relic. It is a tool of domination." The weapon on the altar transforms. It is no longer a piece of junk. It is a grotesque, spiked Daedric weapon, the Mace of Molag Bal. The Dragonborn picks it up. Its enchantment is not subtle. It does not offer a chance at death. It guarantees a slow, painful one. It drains 25 points of stamina and 25 points of magicka with every single blow. It doesn't just kill the enemy, it debilitates them. It makes them slow, weak, and unable to fight back or flee. It makes them helpless. And it has one more feature. If an enemy dies within 3 seconds of being struck, the mace automatically fills a soul gem. It is not a weapon of destruction like Dagon's, it is a tool of enslavement. The Dragonborn wielding this mace is not just a killer. They are a harvester of souls, a walking extension of Molag Bal's will. They leave the house, the door clicking shut behind them. The air of Markarth feels no different. The oppression, the cruelty, the grinding weight of the stone, it all just feels like home. The mace of the King of Rape is heavy at the Dragonborn's hip. Leaving Markarth, they feel unclean. The city's damp, coppery air clings to them, a miasma of old blood and broken wills. The razor in their pocket feels like a random, chaotic impulse, and the ebony blade, wherever they have stored it, hums with the cold memory of betrayal. The Dragonborn is, at this point, less a hero and more a walking curio cabinet of Daedric malice. They need a change. They need a bath, spiritually. But cleansing doesn't come from the gods of men. It comes, as always, from another, equally demanding source. This time, it doesn't begin with a rumour or a command. It begins with the simple act of thievery. The Dragonborn is somewhere in the wilderness, perhaps in a crumbling, forgotten fort, or a deep, ice-filled cavern. They have just dispatched a bandit chief or a hagraven, and they are doing what they do best, rooting through the personal belongings of the recently deceased. They open a large, iron-banded chest. Inside, among the usual pile of low-grade leather armour, some mouldy bread, and 17 septims is a rock. Well, not a rock. It's an orb, a strange, faceted, crystalline thing. It's labelled Meridia's beacon. The Dragonborn, who has never met a strange object they wouldn't immediately pocket, picks it up. A new hand touches the beacon. The voice is not a whisper. It is not a gravelly subterranean command. It is a sound like 1,000 church bells and a peal of thunder, delivered by a schoolhead mistress who has just caught you smoking behind the gymnasium. It is blindingly, painfully loud, and it is directly inside the Dragonborn's skull. Listen, hear me and obey. A foul darkness has seeped into my temple, a darkness that you will cleanse. Go to Mount Kilkreath, take my beacon, and when you have restored the light, I will make you the instrument of my cleansing light. The Dragonborn, who is probably still blinking and trying to get their bearings, doesn't get a choice. They don't get to say no, or how much does it pay, or can this wait until after lunch? If they are outdoors, the world simply ends. The beacon flares in their hand, a column of blinding white light shoots into the sky, and the Dragonborn is lifted. They are pulled, feet first, scrambling and undignified into the sky. They are a piece of trash caught in a divine updraft. The whole of Skyrim, the beautiful snow-capped province they have spent months traversing, scrolls by beneath them in a terrifying, nauseating blur. They are flown, tumbling through the air until they are slammed unceremoniously onto a cold stone platform, high on a mountainside in front of a looming statue of a woman with wings. This is Meridia. She is the Daedric prince of... well, it's complicated. She is the prince of life, light, and infinite energies. And she is, without question, the most demanding, self-righteous, and loudest entity in all of Aetherius. This is our obscure bit of lore for the evening. Meridia is not technically an original Daedra. She is, by most accounts, a rogue Magna Gii. The Magna Gii were the Eterda, the original spirits, who fled Mundus with Magnus, the architect, when they saw what Lorcan's creation was really going to cost them. They tore holes in the Veil of Oblivion to escape, and those holes are the sun and the stars. Meridia, however, was cast out. She was exiled, either for consorting with illicit spectrums or for being, in simple terms, an unbearable know-it-all. So she carved her own realm of oblivion, the coloured rooms, and declared herself the matron of life. And as a result, she has a pathological, obsessive-compulsive hatred of anything that defies her definition of life, chief among them, the undead. She hates necromancy, she hates vampires, she hates Draga, she hates skeletons, she hates all of it. Not because it's evil in a moral sense, but because it is an aberration. It's a disruption of her sphere. It's untidy, and Meridia hates a mess. Her statue, glowing with an obnoxious purity, addresses the Dragonborn. Malkaran, a foul necromancer, has defiled my temple. He has brought his filth into my light and trapped the souls of those who came to worship. This is the central and often missed point. The temple isn't just full of skeletons. It's full of corrupted shades, the glowing, purple, screaming ghosts of Meridia's own worshippers. Malkaran didn't just move in, he corrupted the faithful, trapping them between life and death. Take my light, Meridia commands, and cleanse my temple, and I shall reward you. The Dragonborn, still picking themselves up, is directed inside. The temple is beautiful. Unlike the musty, bloody crypt of Molag Bal, Kilkreath is all white stone, soaring arches, and beams of light. It's a crystal palace, and it's filled with the reanimated corpses of its former priests and a lot of very angry ghosts. The core gameplay here is simple. The Dragonborn must carry a beam of Meridia's light, activating a series of pedestals one by one to open the doors. It's the Daedric equivalent of plugging in a very long, very complicated set of Christmas lights. With each pedestal activated, Meridia's voice booms through the hall. Well done, champion. The light flows once more. You are doing my work. She is the divine version of a backseat driver, and her light is a laser that thankfully also incinerates any corrupted shade it touches. The Dragonborn fights their way through. This is where the fan community starts its debate. Is Meridia good? On the one hand, she's fighting necromancy. She hates vampires. That seems pretty good, right? The Dragonborn, after all, is probably going to join the Dawnguard and fight vampires themselves. This all seems very heroic. On the other hand, she offers no choice. She kidnaps you. She commands you. She calls you champion in the same way Molag Bal did, as if you are a tool she's just picked up. She's a tyrant. She's a fundamentalist. Her light is not the gentle, warm glow of a hearth. It is the sterile, cold, all-seeing, all-judging light of an operating theatre. Molag Bal wants to enslave your body and break your will. Meridia wants to purify your soul, to burn away every shadow, every doubt, every choice, until all that remains is her perfect, orderly, shining obedience. Fans argue this constantly. Is she a better master than the others? Or is she just the same tyranny, but with better branding? She's the ultimate lawful neutral in a lawful evil alignment's clothing. The Dragonborn, who doesn't have time for these philosophical nuances, finally reaches the inner sanctum. Malkuran, the necromancer, is there. He's a powerful magic user surrounded by his spectral minions. "You cannot stop me," he screams. "This light, it belongs to me." He is, of course, wrong. The Dragonborn, powered by righteous fury, or just annoyance at Meridia's constant shouting, cuts him down. The fight is a flurry of ice storms and swirling shades. When Malkuran finally falls, a dark, corrupted mist rises from his body, and then Meridia's voice fills the room. "It is done. The filth is purged. Come, champion, and receive your reward." Again, the Dragonborn is pulled, against their will, back into the sky. They are floating, thousands of feet above Skyrim, held in a bubble of light. It's a spectacular view. Meridia's disembodied voice delivers a monologue about her power, her light, and how the Dragonborn is now her instrument. She doesn't ask. She tells. "Take the sword, Dawnbreaker. Wield it in my name. Let it be a beacon, a light to scatter the darkness, and a scourge upon the undead." A sword appears in front of the Dragonborn. It is beautiful. It's an elegant golden-hued blade with a crossguard that looks like a rising sun. The pommel contains a glowing, magical orb. It is the polar opposite of the Mace of Molag Bal. The Dragonborn takes it, and then, her speech over, Meridia drops them. They plummet, screaming all the way from the upper atmosphere back down to the temple platform, taking significant fall damage unless they are very lucky. A final, petty thank you from the Lady of Light. They have the sword, Dawnbreaker. Its enchantment is as unsubtle as its mistress. It deals 10 points of fire damage, but against the undead, it has a chance to trigger a massive holy explosion. This explosion is the source of endless comedy for the player base. It doesn't just turn the undead, it detonates them. The Dragonborn walks into a Draugr-filled crypt. They swing the sword. Boom! A holy light bomb goes off. The target Draugr is incinerated. The other 5 Draugr in the room are sent ragdolling, pinwheeling through the air, clattering off the walls. It is, without a doubt, the most chaotic, messy, and hilarious weapon in the game. It is a holy hand grenade with a hilt. Players tell stories of walking into a room, hitting one skeleton, and the resulting chain reaction blasting the bones, armour, weapons, and any nearby cheese wheels into such a high-velocity whirlwind that they kill the other skeletons. But it has a famous, notorious bug. The explosion can and will blast loot everywhere. The Dragonborn kills the Draugr Deathlord, and the explosion sends his priceless ebony greatsword flying, clipping through a wall and disappearing from the game forever. It's Meridia's final obsessive-compulsive joke. She hates the undead so much she's willing to destroy your hard-earned loot just to make sure they're extra dead. The Dragonborn stands on the mountain peak, the clean, cold wind whipping their cloak. In one hand, metaphorically, they hold the mace of the father of vampires. In the other, they hold the sword of the ultimate vampire hater. They are a walking, shouting, deeply confusing theological paradox, and they are just getting started. The Dragonborn is now a walking contradiction, a champion of light and a wielder of darkness. Dawnbreaker is a weight of judgment on one hip, the Mace of Molag Bal a grinding burden of cruelty on the other. They are a tool for gods who are, at their core, tyrants of different flavours. One demands absolute sterile order, the other absolute brutal submission. This path, it's heavy. The hero of Skyrim, fresh from a mountaintop scolding and a basement torture session, needs a vacation, a break, something else. They wander, trying to clear their head. They leave the oppressive, bloody stone of Markarth and the shining, judgmental peak of Kilcreath. They travel, eventually, to the grandest, cleanest, and most politically savvy city in the hold. Solitude. Solitude. The capital of the Imperial presence in Skyrim. A city built on a soaring stone arch, high above the sea of ghosts. It smells of salt, money, and the self-satisfaction of the ruling class. The Dragonborn, perhaps visiting the Bard's College, or just looking for a decent meal, finds themselves in the poorer district, near the city gates. And there, they find him. A man named Dervanin. He is a beggar, ragged and wild-eyed, and he is ranting. He's not ranting about the war. He's not ranting about the dragons. He is ranting with the specific, frustrated energy of a long-suffering personal assistant about his master. He's left me, Dervanin wails, clutching at the Dragonborn. Left me. Went on vacation, inside the Jarl's mind, and he won't come out. The Dragonborn, who has at this point heard rumours of children talking to doors and seen men turned mad by haunted houses, is only mildly surprised. Your master? In Jarl Elisif's mind? No, Dervanin groans, as if explaining to a simpleton. Not this Jarl. The old Jarl, Pelagius. He's been dead for centuries, but my master said the Blue Palace, the mind of the Blue Palace, was the perfect spot for a little holiday, and now he won't answer. The Dragonborn is naturally intrigued. Dervanin, desperate, presses something into their hand. It's a bone, a piece of a hip bone. This is the key, he says, with the utmost seriousness. The key to the Forbidden Wing. Get inside, find my master. Tell him Dervanin needs him. Tell him, the Isles are in chaos. This is the only clue. The Dragonborn, pocketing the skeletal key, heads to the Blue Palace. The Pelagius Wing, they learn from Jarl Elisif and her steward, Folk Firebeard, has been sealed for, well, forever. It's the haunted part of the castle. Pelagius III, known to history as Pelagius the Mad, lived and in some tellings died there. He was the man who tried to outlaw death, who spoke only in grunts, and who once famously bit a visiting nobleman. He was, to put it mildly, not a well man. The wing is considered unlucky, cursed, and frankly a bit of an embarrassment to the crown. The Dragonborn, using their status as Thane, or their sheer, intimidating, I kill dragons aura, convinces Folk to give them the key. Just don't touch anything, Folk sighs, and if you see any ghosts, don't engage them. The Dragonborn finds the door. It's covered in cobwebs. The hipbone key from Dervanin does nothing. But the mundane metal key from Folk clicks. The door swings open. The air that hits them is not air. It's not dusty. It's not cold. It's nothing. The Dragonborn steps through the doorway and the world dissolves. The sound of the Blue Palace, the chatter of the court, the strumming of the bards fades. The visual world melts, reforms. The Dragonborn is no longer in a castle. They are outside, in a foggy, purple-hued landscape. A single path winds through a nightmarish, twisted forest. It smells like ozone and strawberries. They are in the mind of Pelagius the Mad, and in the distance, at a long-lit dinner table, two figures are sitting. One is a man in rags, presumably Pelagius, who is muttering to himself. The other is a man in a half-purple, half-orange suit of impeccable dandyish cut. He has a sharp beard and eyes that glitter with an intelligence so vast it has looped back around on itself and become pure, weaponized silliness. This is Sheogorath, the Daedric Prince of Madness, the Mad God, the Lord of the Never There. Wonderful, he bellows, spotting the Dragonborn. A guest, just in time. This one, he says, gesturing to the sobbing Pelagius, is dreadfully boring. All he talks about is his mother, and the shadows, and the little men who eat the cheese. The Dragonborn at this point has given up trying to understand the rules. They explain that Dervanin sent them. Dervanin, Sheogorath roars with laughter. Good old Dervanin. Worried, is he? Thinks the Isles are falling apart? Probably. They're supposed to fall apart, that's the fun of it. Sheogorath, the Prince of Madness, is on vacation from his realm, the Shivering Isles, by literally squatting in the psyche of a long-dead emperor. This is where we find one of the most beloved and most profound pieces of obscure lore in the entire series. Sheogorath makes a few telling comments. He mentions the Oblivion Crisis. I was there for that, you know. Terrible business. All those gates looked better in red, but I digress. How would he know? This is the fan theory that has been all but confirmed by the developers. The Sheogorath we are speaking to is the player character from the Elder Scrolls of Oblivion. The lore is this: Sheogorath was Jiggalag, the Daedric Prince of Order. Pure, crystalline, logical, boring. Order. He was so powerful, so perfect, that the other Daedric princes in a fit of jealous terror cursed him. They turned him into his polar opposite, Sheogorath, the Prince of Madness. Once every era the curse breaks, Sheogorath transforms back into Jiggalag, leading the Grey March to destroy his own realm, the Shivering Isles. Then, the curse reasserts itself and he becomes Sheogorath again, forced to rebuild his world of madness from the rubble. It is an endless, perfect, orderly cycle. Until the hero of Kvatch, the protagonist of Oblivion, entered the Shivering Isles, defeated Jiggalag, and mantled Sheogorath. They took his place. They became the new Prince of Madness, breaking the cycle forever. The man in the suit, the one offering the Dragonborn a cup of dread. That's you from a different game. But the new Sheogorath is bored. He wants to leave Pelagius's mind, but there's a problem. He's stuck. I can't leave him like this, Sheogorath complains. He's broken, and I'm on vacation. You fix him. How? Asks the Dragonborn. With this, Sheogorath says, handing them his staff. The Wabberjack, my favourite toy. Now go on. Shoo. Go. Fix his head. The Wabberjack. It is a staff, topped with a scowling, bearded face, and it is the physical embodiment of a random number generator. Sheogorath explains that the Dragonborn must clear Pelagius's mind. The landscape shifts. The Dragonborn is now on a small stage. They must use the Wabberjack to cure Pelagius's anxieties. First is paranoia. Pelagius is being watched by two figures, who are themselves being watched by menacing Atronachs. The Dragonborn must Wabberjack the conspirators. They turn into wolves. Next is night terrors. Pelagius is asleep in a bed, and a figure like a wolf appears. The Dragonborn must Wabberjack the terror. It turns into a goat. Another appears, a hagraven. Wabberjack. It becomes a small, giggling child. The nightmares are turned into mundane, silly things. Finally, anger. A huge, red, spectral anger is beating up a tiny, cowering confidence. The Dragonborn must Wabberjack anger to make him small, and Wabberjack confidence to make him big. They must balance his emotions. With all three tasks complete, the world rights itself. Sheogorath is back, clapping. Brilliant! Look at him! He's sane! Utterly, tragically, boringly sane. Oh, the fun is over! Pelagius himself is just standing there, confused, but no longer screaming about cheese. Well, my work here is done, Sheogorath says, dusting off his suit. And as for you, he looks at the Dragonborn. You can keep the staff, a little parting gift, a new toy. Go on, make trouble. And with a final ta-ta, Sheogorath and Pelagius vanish. The purple fog melts. The sound of dust returns. The Dragonborn is standing alone in the dark, filthy, cobweb-choked Pelagius wing of the Blue Palace. They are back, but in their hand, they still hold the staff, the Wabberjack. The fan community loves this weapon. The debate isn't about whether it's good or evil. The debate is, what does it do? The answer is yes. The Dragonborn, when they fire the Wabberjack at an enemy, has no idea what will happen. It might shoot a fireball, shoot a froststorm, heal the target, make the target invisible. Turn the target into a sweet roll. Turn the target into a chicken. Turn the target into a Dremora Lord, who is now also trying to kill the Dragonborn. Or, on very rare, beautiful occasions, it will simply disintegrate the target, instantly killing them. It is pure, unadulterated chaos. It is the antithesis of Meridia's rigid, burning order. It is the opposite of Molag Bal's grinding, predictable cruelty. It's not a tool for domination, or cleansing, or even betrayal. It's a joke, it's a prank, it's a stick that defies all logic. The Dragonborn, now armed with the Wabberjack, is no longer just a pawn of the gods. They are an agent of chaos. They can walk into a bandit camp, fire this staff, and 5 seconds later be running for their life from a very angry chicken, 2 Dremora, and a pile of cheese that used to be the bandit chief. It is perhaps the most unique weapon of all, because it doesn't just change the fight, it changes the story, turning a grim fantasy epic into a bizarre, unpredictable comedy. The Dragonborn leave solitude, the Wobberjack heavy in their pack. It's a different kind of burden than the other artifacts. It's not a moral one. It doesn't hum with betrayal or cruelty. It just vibrates. It's the feeling of a coiled spring, a cosmic prank, just waiting for a target. It's an agent of pure, giddy chaos. And after a while, chaos is exhausting. When every fight has the potential to turn into a high-stakes magical version of a barnyard scramble, the Dragonborn begins to crave something they never thought they'd miss: reliability. Dawnbreaker is reliable, but its holy explosions are loud, and Meridia's voice still echoes in their skull. The Mace of Molag Bal is efficient, but using it feels like dipping your hands in something viscous and unclean. The Dragonborn needs a defense, something to counter the unending magical artillery of this land. They are, after all, fighting dragons who breathe apocalypse. They are fighting mages who hurl physics-defying spears of ice. They are fighting, for goodness sake, chickens that might secretly be bandit chiefs. They need a shield. Not just a piece of wood or steel. They need an answer. The search, or perhaps just the aimless wandering that passes for a search, takes them south, back into the jagged, oppressive peaks of the Reach. This entire region, with its forsworn, its ancient Dwemer ruins and its city built on blood, is fast becoming the Daedric Bermuda Triangle of Skyrim. High in the mountains, buffeted by a cold, lonely wind, the Dragonborn finds a small, unassuming, and frankly, rather pathetic-looking shrine. There is no grand statue. There is no imposing dark temple. There's just a table, a single ornate Dwemer cauldron, and a few Khajiit huddled nearby who look deeply, profoundly unwell. This is the shrine to Periite, the Daedric Prince of Pestilence. He is the Taskmaster. He is the Prince of Plagues, of Sickness, and also, paradoxically, of Order. It is Periite's job to ensure the natural, grinding, natural order of the universe functions. He is, in the grand, terrifying pantheon of cosmic horrors, the middle manager. He's the one who files the paperwork for the plagues, ensures the famines are properly distributed, and generally makes sure the universe's plumbing is backed up. He is, by most accounts, the weakest of the princes, but that's a bit like being the slowest dragon. One of the Khajiit, Kesh the Clean, approaches. He explains that he is here to commune with the Taskmaster, but he lacks the ingredients for the special incense. He needs, he says, a silver ingot, a deathbell flower, some vampire dust, and a flawless ruby. The Dragonborn, who at this point is a walking, clanking pawnshop, probably has all 4 items in their right pocket. They've been carrying that flawless ruby for 3 months, waiting for the perfect time to sell it, and this is probably not it. But curiosity has long since replaced their business sense. They hand the items to Kesh. He brews the thick, noxious-looking vapour in the cauldron. "Breathe deep, traveller," he says. "The Taskmaster awaits." The Dragonborn, who has now learned absolutely nothing from talking to creepy children, haunted houses, or mad gods, leans over the pot and inhales deeply. The world dissolves. It doesn't shatter like with Sheogorath. It just smears. The screen turns a sickly, oily green. The sound of the wind is replaced by a wet, gurgling coughing sound. The Dragonborn is floating in a green, miasmic void. And before them is a dragon. Sort of. It's a spectral, sickly, greenish dragon form. This is Periite, and he is not impressive. He sounds like he's speaking through a chest cold. "You have come, mortal," he gurgles, "as I have foreseen." He, like all the others, has a job. Periite, it seems, has a problem with an employee. He has his afflicted, a cult of mortals who worship him, and in return he gave them a plague. It's not a great benefits package. They are his agents, meant to spread his blessings across Tamriel. But one of them, an elf named Orchendor, has gone rogue. This is the key. Periite is not angry that Orchendor is a monster. He's angry that Orchendor is off task. He has taken his flock, the afflicted, and barricaded himself inside a vast Dwemer ruin called Bethodum's. He has defied the natural order. He has stopped answering his emails, and Peryite, the ultimate micromanager, needs someone to go deal with it. The Dragonborn, their vision clearing, agrees. The quest is simple. Travel to Bethardam's, find Auchendor, and kill him. Bethardam's is an experience. It's a massive Dwemer ruin, and the moment the great metal doors hiss open, the smell hits them. It's the scent of old, damp metal, rust and bile. It smells like a plague hospital, and it is one. The afflicted are everywhere. They are mortals, men and mer whose skin is a weeping greenish grey. They are covered in sores, and they are zealots. Peryite is our master, they cry as they charge. We are his chosen. And then they vomit. Their ranged attack is a projectile stream of green, poisonous bile. It's horrific. It's disgusting. The Dragonborn is forced to wade through this fortress of the terminally ill, cutting down people who are, for all intents and purposes, already dead. They are just slowly dying and trying to take the Dragonborn with them. The ruin is vast. It is, by some players' estimations, one of the longest, most repetitive, most slogging dungeons in the entire game. It's a seemingly endless series of metal corridors, steam-filled chambers, and grand, empty halls, all populated by dozens, hundreds, of these coughing, vomiting, plague-ridden husks. This is Peryite's nature. It's not the grand, theatrical cruelty of Molag Bal. It's the slow, grinding, impersonal misery of systemic decay. This is where the fan community debates. Is Peryite evil? He's a Daedric prince. The answer is, almost certainly. But how evil? Unlike Molag Bal, who violates the natural order for his own pleasure, Peryite is the natural order. Or at least a part of it. Disease, decay, plague. These are not unnatural things. They are brutal and they are awful, but they are part of the system. Peryite is just the god of that system. He's not a tyrant, he's a process. And the fans are left to argue, is the cold, impersonal, bureaucratic cruelty of Peryite worse than the passionate, personal, sadistic cruelty of his peers? The Dragonborn, who is by now ankle-deep in something, and has had to wash their armour twice, doesn't care. They just want this to be over. After what feels like literal days, they reach the Arcan Cathedral at the dungeon's lowest point, and there is Auchendor. He is a powerful, smug, elven spellsword. You are too late, he taunts. Peryite cannot reach me here. I am safe. The fight is a nightmare. Auchendor has powerful destruction magic. He teleports. He summons more afflicted. He is, in a word, annoying. The Dragonborn, who has waded through a literal river of plague to get here, is not in the mood. They are not here for games. They might pull out the Wabberjack just for the sheer satisfaction of turning this smug, unhygienic elf into a sweet roll. A very, very sickly sweet roll. Or more likely they close the distance. They use Mehrunes Razor. Stab, stab, stab. 1.98% chance. Or they just bash him with the Mace of Molag Bal until his magicka is gone and his soul is theirs. However it happens, Auchendor falls. The last of the afflicted are leaderless. The Dragonborn trudges back. Up, 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 through the now silent but still disgusting halls. They emerge, blinking into the clean, cold air of the Reach. They have never been so happy to breathe air that didn't smell of death. They return to the shrine. Kesh is waiting. The Dragonborn inhales the fumes one more time. Peryite reappears. It is done. The natural order is restored. He sounds pleased in his wheezing, gurgling way. The defiant is punished. My afflicted will wander, and my blessing will spread. He is, in short, happy that his diseased minions are no longer cooped up, but are now roaming free to infect the rest of Skyrim. It's a grim victory. Take this, he gurgles, a trinket from my repository. And there, on the ground, shimmering in the sunlight, is a shield. It is a stunning, intricate piece of Dwemer craftsmanship. It's all golden metal, a series of concentric spinning circles that seem to rotate in on themselves. It looks alive. This is Spellbreaker. This is our obscure bit of lore. Spellbreaker is one of the most ancient artifacts in Tamriel. It appeared in Arena. But Peryite didn't make it. It is very clearly Dwemer. The legends say it was crafted by the Rorken clan of the Dwemer, the same ones who went to Hammerfell. It's not a Daedric artifact in the sense that Molag Bal forged his mace. It's a Dwemer artifact that Periite acquired. He is the Taskmaster, the Prince of Order, but he's also a divine scavenger. He found this, recognised its power, and added it to his repository to be handed out as a reward for his janitorial work. The Dragonborn picks it up, and its power is simple, elegant, and absolute. When the Dragonborn raises the shield to block, it creates a magical ward. This ward, as long as they have stamina, will absorb up to 50 points of magical damage. This changes everything. A dragon breathes fire, the Dragonborn just stands there. The fire hits the ward and fizzles. A cryomancer's ice storm, which would normally stagger and kill them, it splashes. A bolt of lightning, it stops. It is the ultimate magical no. It's not chaotic like the Wabbajack. It's not offensive like Dawnbreaker or the Mace. It is pure, absolute, unwavering denial. It is the perfect expression of Periite's nature. It is a system. It orders magic. It stops it. It files it away. The Dragonborn, now armed with a tool of pure chaos, a sword of holy fire, a mace of corruption, and a shield of pure systemic order, is no longer just a collection of contradictions. They are a complete set. They are ready for anything. The Dragonborn is now a walking armoury of divine and conflicting purpose. They have a shield of absolute bureaucratic denial. They have a staff of pure giddy chaos. They have swords of both holy vengeance and whispered betrayal. They have a mace that breaks the will, and a dagger that gambles with the soul. They are, in short, extremely well equipped and deeply, deeply confused. Periite's shield, Spellbreaker, is a masterpiece of Dwemer engineering. It's a tool of denial, a complex machine of interlocking parts. And as the Dragonborn carries it, they are reminded of the Dwemer, the deep elves, whose presence in Skyrim is like a cold metal skeleton beneath the snow. Their ruins are everywhere. Their machines still grind away in the dark, and their artifacts are beyond compare. Spellbreaker was a Dwemer artifact co-opted by a Daedric prince, and it makes the Dragonborn wonder, what about the other Dwemer masterpieces? The search for this next weapon begins not with a whisper or a shout, but with a plea. The Dragonborn travel southeast, into the warm autumnal forests of the Rift. They are near Riften, a city of thieves and mead, where the air smells of honey and damp wood. But they are not in the city. They are in the wilderness, seeking out the far-flung, isolated settlements of the Orcs. They find Lagerspur. It is not a welcoming sight. The gate is sealed. A pall of sickness and fear hangs over the crude wooden palisade. And, as the Dragonborn approaches, they see why. The stronghold is under attack. A giant, its form massive against the sky, is swinging a colossal tree-trunk club, sending Orc warriors flying like broken dolls. The Dragonborn, who has long since adopted a kill-first, ask-questions-later policy, wades in. Steel and magic meet raw, brutal strength. The giant, surprised by this new heavily armed tourist, eventually falls. The gates open. The Orcs are not grateful. They are suspicious, sullen, and weak. The stronghold is cursed. Their chieftain, Yamaz, is a snivelling, paranoid creature, a far cry from the proud warriors of legend. The Orcs are diminished. In the Longhouse, the shaman Atub is desperately trying to commune with their god. Malakath, the Daedric prince of the spurned and ostracized, the patron god of the Orsimer. Atub calls for the Dragonborn to witness. She offers a sacrifice, troll fat, a Daedra heart, and the green, spectral image of Malakath appears. He is not pleased. His voice is a deep, guttural roar of pure, undiluted contempt. Weakness, I smell. Weakness. He rages at Yamaz, calling him a louse and a worm. The giants, he explains, have defiled his shrine. They have invaded his sanctuary, and Yamaz, in his weakness, has allowed it. He has failed. Malakath demands a show of strength. Yamaz must go to the giants' lair, kill their leader, and bring back his war club as an offering. Only then will Malakath lift his curse. Yamaz, visibly terrified, agrees. And then he turns to the Dragonborn, his eyes narrow and calculating. He hires the Dragonborn to accompany him. He claims it's to watch his back, but his tone suggests he's looking for a shield, or a scapegoat. The Dragonborn, sensing a quest and the inevitable loot at the end of it, agrees. The journey to the Giant's Grove is awkward. Yamaz is the worst hiking companion in all of Tamriel. He complains, he boasts, telling transparent lies about his own strength. He insists the Dragonborn walk behind him, so he can lead, and then flinches at every snapped twig. He is a walking, breathing embodiment of everything Malakath despises. They arrive at Fallowstone Cave. The air is thick with the musky animal smell of mammoths, the smoke of huge guttering fires, and the ground thuds. The giants are home. Yamaz stops. He turns to the Dragonborn with a slimy, conspiratorial grin. "Look," he wheezes, "you're strong, very strong. Why don't you go in? You kill the giant, kill all of them. I will pay you, handsomely. Then I will return to my people, a hero. Everyone wins." Here, the Dragonborn, an instrument of so many divine wills, is given a choice. They can agree to this pathetic farce, or they can refuse. Let's assume the Dragonborn, for once, decides to uphold a different kind of order. "No," they say, "this is your trial, chieftain." Yamaz's face cycles through panic, rage, and finally a sort of doomed, pathetic resolve. He draws his blade. "Fine, watch me. I will show you the strength of an orc." He charges into the cave. The Dragonborn follows just in time to see the giant chieftain, a creature twice the size of a normal giant, look up, annoyed. Yamaz lets out a high-pitched battle cry, and the giant swings. It is perhaps the single most defining moment of physics in Skyrim. The giant's club connects. Yamaz, the mighty chieftain, makes a small pop sound and is launched silently, end over end, at an impossible velocity until he strikes the ceiling of the cavern. He hangs there for a moment, a ragdoll of broken armor and failed ambition, before slumping to the ground, very, very dead. This is the giant flinging that the community treasures. It is the perfect anticlimactic end to a perfectly pathetic character. Malakath's problem, it seems, has just been resolved. The Dragonborn, sighing, draws their own weapon, Dawnbreaker perhaps, or the Wobberjack, just to see what happens. The fight is brutal. The giant is a mountain of hit points and rage, but the Dragonborn is a Daedric-powered killing machine. The giant falls. The Dragonborn takes the giant's club. It's just a club, a big, crude, ugly piece of wood. They travel back to Lagershbur, the weight of the thing on their shoulder. Atub is waiting. She sees the Dragonborn, alone. "Yamaz?" "He was weak," the Dragonborn says. Atub nods, her face grim. Then Malakath's will is done. He was weak. Anew, Chieftain Gulazob immediately takes his place. The curse of weakness is already lifting. The Dragonborn places the giant's crude club on the altar. Malakath's voice booms out again, but this time it is not angry. It is pleased. "You," he roars, "are strong. You are what an orc should be. Yamaz was a poison. You are the cure." He's not angry that the Dragonborn is not an orc. He is just impressed. "Take your reward. This is not a giant's toy. This is a real weapon. This is Volendrung." The giant's club on the altar dissolves. In its place, shimmering with a dark Dwemer gold light, is a hammer, a warhammer. It is colossal. It is a masterpiece of Dwemer engineering, all interlocking gears and ancient glowing metal. This is Volendrung, and this is our obscure lore. Volendrung is not originally Malakath's. Like Spellbreaker, it's Dwemer. It is, in fact, one of the most important Dwemer artifacts in history. According to legend, it belonged to the chieftain of the Rorken clan. When the other Dwemer clans decided to ally with the Chimer, the ancestors of the Dark Elves, the Rorken refused. Their chieftain, in a fit of defiance, took his hammer, Volendrung, the Hammer of Might, and threw it. He threw it from Morrowind, clear across the continent of Tamriel, and he declared, "Wherever this hammer lands, our new home shall be." It flew, and it flew, and it landed in the province that would, from that day forward, be known as Hammerfell. That's the fan theory that has become accepted lore. The entire province is named after this single, momentous, magically assisted throw. How did Malakath get it? How did it get back to Skyrim? Did the giants have the real hammer, or just a symbolic piece? The lore is silent, but the fan debate rages. Is Malakath, the Prince of the Spurned, also a collector? Does he hoard the symbols of those who are cast out just like his Rorcan allies? And who is Malakath? This is the darkest, strangest origin story of all. The Aldmeri, High Elf texts claim that Malakath is not a true prince. They claim he was once Trinamak, the greatest warrior god of the elves. When the Chimer, led by the prophet Veloth, decided to leave the Somerset Isles, Trinamak tried to stop them. But he was confronted by the Daedric prince Boethia, the prince of plots, and Boethia ate him. He consumed Trinamak whole. Then, the legends say, Boethia spoke with Trinamak's voice, mocking him, and then Boethia excreted him, and the waste, the vile, corrupted, broken remains that became Malakath. His followers, the ancient orcs, were twisted at the same time. Their golden skin turned to green and grey. This is why Malakath is the god of curses, the god of the ash pit. He is literally what was left behind. It's a story he furiously denies, but it's a story that defines his entire sphere. He is the patron of the ugly, the spurned, the cheated, and the outcast. And he hates weakness, because he was born from it. The Dragonborn takes the hammer, Volendrung. It's so heavy it should be impossible to swing, but it thrums. Its enchantment is simple. It's not flashy. It just absorbs 50 points of stamina. This is a game changer. The single biggest weakness of a two-handed weapon build is stamina. Power attacks, the big, satisfying, decapitating smashes, they drain the stamina bar in seconds. But Volendrung refills it. With every swing, the Dragonborn gets more stamina. This means the Dragonborn can sprint across Skyrim, swing the hammer to refill, and sprint again. It means that in a fight, the Dragonborn can perform an endless, non-stop, perpetual chain of devastating, bone-shattering power attacks. Smash, 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 smash. It is a perpetual motion machine of violence. It is the perfect weapon for a god who values pure, relentless, overwhelming strength. Volendrung is a commitment. It's a two-handed, Dwemer-forged mountain of pure, relentless work. Swinging it is a perpetual stamina-fueling engine of destruction. The Dragonborn, having solved the Orc's chieftain problem by watching him get battered into the ceiling, is now tired. Not physically. The hammer handles that. But spiritually. Being an instrument of divine will by way of blunt force trauma is exhausting. They have been tortured in a haunted house, scolded on a mountaintop, and forced to wade through a river of plague. They've been an agent of chaos, a champion of order, and a tool of betrayal. The Dragonborn, frankly, needs a night off. They need a drink. The quest for this next artifact begins not in a crumbling ruin or on a windswept shrine, but in the most civilized and most dangerous place of all, a tavern, after dark. The Dragonborn, at a respectable level 14, wanders into the first inn they see. It might be the Bannered Mare in Whiterun, the fire pit casting warm, smoky shadows. It could be the Bee and Barb in Riften, the air thick with the smell of honey-sweet mead and bad decisions. It doesn't matter where. He is always there, waiting. His name is Sam Gaven. He's a man in simple, dark robes, a tankard already in hand, a broad, infectious smile on his face. He looks normal, which, in Skyrim, is the most suspicious thing of all. He flags the Dragonborn down. You look like someone who can appreciate the finer things. His voice is a jovial, booming baritone. He challenges the Dragonborn to a drinking contest. Right here, right now. The prize? He laughs. A staff. A magnificent staff, but first, the drinks. The Dragonborn, the literal prophesied world-ending hero who just wielded a hammer that named a continent, looks at this random man. A drinking contest. Against all the advice of their inner sensible self, they agree. How bad could it be? Sam is a pro. He sets them out. One tankard. To the hero of Skyrim, gulp. Another, Sam bellows, slamming his own down. to me, gulp, and a third to the Jarl, whichever one is in charge of this fine establishment. The Dragonborn matches him, drink for drink. The tavern interior, which was just a moment ago a cosy firelit room, begins to swim. The bard's lute sounds, like it's being played, underwater. Sam's face is 2 faces, and then 3. You're hick. You're amazing, Sam slurs, or maybe the Dragonborn slurs, it's hard to tell. One more for the staff. The Dragonborn raises the mug. The world tilts, and the screen goes black. The smell, that's the first thing. It's not the stale ale and sawdust of the tavern. It's flowers, nice flowers, incense, and vomit. The unmistakable acidic tang of a very bad night. The Dragonborn opens their eyes. The light, it is so bright. They are not in a tavern. They are in a temple. All white stone and purple banners. The Temple of Dibella in Markarth. Get up. The voice is a sharp female whisper of pure condensed rage. A priestess, Senna, is glaring at them. You disgusting thing! The Dragonborn, nursing a headache that feels like Molag Bal himself, is trying to personally break their will, looks around. The temple is a mess. There are bottles everywhere, a giant's toe on the altar, and is that a goat? No, the goat is gone, just goat leavings. You trashed the place, Senna hisses. You were shouting, I'm the Dragonborn, and more Smeed, and you were obscene, and then you just collapsed. The Dragonborn in a single night has gone from hero of Skyrim to that guy. Clean it up, Senna snaps, and you left this. She points to a pile of junk and a note from Sam. The note is barely legible. My friend, what a night. Had to run, but about that staff. Just go to Rorikstead. Ask for Ennis. He'll know. S. The Dragonborn, on the walk of shame to end all walks of shame, cleanse up the temple, apologizes profusely, and stumbles out into the unforgiving Markarth sunlight. Rorikstead, a tiny, pointless farming village. They find Ennis. He is not happy. You, he screams, waving a pitchfork. Where is she? What have you done with Gleda? Gleda is his goat, his prize-winning, best-in-the-hold pride-of-my-life goat. You stole her, Ennis wails. You said you were marrying her, and then you sold her to a giant. You monster! The Dragonborn just stole a goat and sold it to a giant. This is a new low. The Dragonborn, sighing, trudges up the mountain. They find the giant. The giant is actually very gentle with Gleda. He seems to like her. The Dragonborn for once feels bad. They persuade the giant to give the goat back or just buy it from him. They return Gleda to Ennis. Oh, thank you, Ennis cries. You're not a complete monster. Oh, but you were going on about a wedding. You bought a ring from Isolde in Whiterun. The Dragonborn, still hungover, marches to Whiterun. Isolde, the nice, aspiring merchant, she is furious. There you are, you scoundrel! You bought my mother's ring on credit. You said it was for your fiancée, Moira. You were going to get married. The Dragonborn's blood runs cold. Moira? Yes, your love, your little hagraven. The Dragonborn, in their drunken stupor, not only stole a goat, but got engaged to a hagraven. Isolde, seeing the look of pure existential horror on the Dragonborn's face, takes pity. Look, just get the ring back, and we'll never speak of this again. She's at Witchmiss Grove. The Dragonborn travels to a dark, misty, disgusting swamp, and there she is, Moira, a hagraven, all feathers, claws, and she's furious. My love, you left me. At the altar, she screeches, and now you want the ring after all we shared? The Dragonborn, who has no memory of all they shared, tries to talk. Moira attacks. It is perhaps the saddest, most pathetic fight in the hero's life. They are forced to kill their own fiancée. They retrieve the ring. But there's another clue. Moira, in her premarital bliss, mentioned Sam, and a party at Morvunska. The Dragonborn, now sober and just angry, marches to Morvunska. It's an old fort. It is not a party. It's full of hostile mages who attack on sight. The Dragonborn, in no mood, wades through them, Volendrung in hand, a perpetual motion machine of pure hungover spite. Smash, smash, smash. At the very top in the fort's old tower is a portal, a shimmering purple glowing thing. It smells of wine and revelry. The Dragonborn steps through. They are in a grove. It's beautiful, misty. A long groaning table of food and wine stretches out before them, and at the end is Sam and a dozen other beautiful laughing people. Sam stands. He claps. "Bravo, bravo, you made it!" The Dragonborn, confused and still, very, very annoyed, just stares. "What a night!" Sam roars with laughter. "The goat, the hagraven, oh my sides! You, my friend, are magnificent. Most mortals, their liver just gives up, or they die of shame. But you persevered." "The staff," the Dragonborn growls. "Ah, yes, the staff," Sam says, and he changes. The simple black robes melt away. His human form expands. Horns, actual horns. He is a Daedric prince. Sanguine, he says with a bow. The Daedric prince of debauchery, hedonism, and, well, this is his core. Sanguine isn't Molag Bal, a prince of evil. He is the prince of the party. He's the god of the darker side of human nature, the urge to drink, to feast, to revel. The entire humiliating quest was a joke, a prank, a good time. This realm, the Misty Grove, is our obscure bit of lore. It's one of Sanguine's myriad realms of revelry, a pocket dimension, a pleasure palace he can snap into existence just for a laugh. "You are a marvellous drinking companion," Sanguine says, his voice now a divine, charming purr. "And for that, you deserve the reward. Take it. A souvenir of our night together, a little party favour." He hands the Dragonborn the staff. It is a long black staff, but the top is a single, perfectly formed rose, the Sanguine rose. "Go on," Sanguine winks, "'cause a little trouble." He snaps his fingers. The Dragonborn is gone. They are back in the tavern, the original tavern. The bard is playing, the mead is flowing. It's exactly as it was. The Dragonborn. Did they dream it? But in their hand is the staff, the Sanguine rose. Its enchantment is perfect. It's not chaos like the Wobberjack. It's not order like Spellbreaker. It's a bouncer. The Dragonborn, when in trouble, can point this staff at the ground and summon a Dremora, a fully armed, very angry Daedric warrior who will fight for them for 60 seconds. This is the great fan debate. Is this good? The Dremora it summons is a fixed level. At level 50, a level 20-something Dremora isn't a champion. It's a Daedric-flavoured speed bump. But at level 14, when the Dragonborn gets it, it's an apocalypse. The Dragonborn now has a weapon for every occasion, a hammer for when they need to work, and a staff for when they need to call a temp, a very angry, horned, demonic temp. They are no longer just a champion. They are a manager. The Sanguine Rose is a delightful, chaotic, and ultimately uncomplicated toy. The Dragonborn now has a get-out-of-jail-free card, a demonic temporary worker they can summon whenever a fight becomes inconvenient. But Sanguine's revelry, the memory of that drunken, humiliating, goat-stealing night, leaves a different kind of residue. It's the fun side of the Daedra. But the party is over. And the hangover is a reminder that not all altered states are a celebration. The Dragonborn is tired, not just of battle, but of the noise, the constant demands of gods and mortals. They are tired of the war, the dragons, the endless clanking weight of their own inventory. They crave a good night's sleep. And that, of course, is what leads them to our next problem. The journey takes them north, back to a place they have visited before, back to the cold, miserable, fish-scented streets of Dawnstar. The last time they were here, they were dealing with a murder cult-obsessed fanboy, Silas Vesuvius. They were complicit in his death, acquiring Mehrunes Razor. They are, in short, not a welcome memory in this town. But the town has a new, more immediate crisis. The Dragonborn arrives to find the entire populace awake. They are wandering the streets, even at night, their faces pale, their eyes wide and bloodshot. They are exhausted, paranoid, and terrified. There is no war, no dragon, no bandit raid. Just this. A plague of sleeplessness. The townsfolk are gathered in the tavern, the Windpeak Inn. They are arguing. Fruki, the hunter, is snapping at the Jarl. Irgnir, the old woman, is muttering about a curse. The entire town is having the same nightmare. It's a core, terrifying fact of the quest. It's not just insomnia, it's a shared psychic infection. They all dream of a terrible, shadowy castle. They dream of her. A man at the inn, a priest, is trying to calm the crowd. His name is Erandur. He wears the robes of Mara, the goddess of love and compassion. He seems different. He is calm. His voice is a soothing baritone, and he is trying to help. He explains to the Dragonborn with a grim, weary sadness that this is not a disease. It is a Daedric influence. The entire town is being held hostage by Vermina, the Daedric prince of nightmares, dreams, and all things terrifying. She is the Dreamweaver, the one who sips on the terror of mortals. Erandur, it turns out, is an expert. The source of the problem, he says, is not in the town. It's up on the hill, overlooking the sea, the old abandoned fort, Nightcaller Temple. He's going there to stop the nightmares at their source, and he needs help. The Dragonborn, who is by now incapable of saying no to a quest, agrees. They follow Erandur up the snowy cliff. The wind howls, a lonely, mournful sound. The temple is a dark, looming silhouette against the grey northern sky. The priest explains the history. This was not a fort. This was, for centuries, a temple. A temple to Vermina, and Erandur. He was one of her priests. This is the first confession. He admits with deep shame that he was a part of this cult, until the attack. Decades ago, a band of orcs, driven by some righteous fury, stormed the temple. The priests of Vermina, facing slaughter, enacted a desperate, terrible plan. The High Priestess released the miasma. This miasma, Erandur explains, is a magical gas, a blessing from Vermina. It put everyone in the temple to sleep, the attacking orcs, the defending priests. It plunged them all into a deep, magical, dreaming stasis. Erandur, he was one of the few who escaped. He fled, found the love of Mara, and has spent the last 30 years of his life trying to atone. Now someone, has awakened in the temple. The miasma is weakening. The nightmares are leaking. They enter. The temple is not a ruin. It is preserved. It is choked with a thick, swirling purple gas, and in the dark they can see them. Bodies. Dozens of them. Sleeping orcs slumped in their armour, sleeping priests draped over their altars. It is a dormitory for the damned. And as the Dragonborn and Erandur move, the miasma recedes, and the bodies stir. The orcs awaken first, not as men, but as the afflicted. Their minds are gone, rotted away by decades of Vermina-fueled nightmares. They are just screaming feral shells. The Dragonborn and Erandur are forced to cut them down. They also must fight the priests, Erandur's former brothers and sisters. They too awaken as sleepwalkers. They are still dreaming. They attack, their eyes a milky white, muttering the ancient, terrible liturgies of their dark goddess. Vermina, take our dreams. Vermina, sip our terror. It is a slow, grim, and deeply unsettling crawl. Erandur is grieving. He is killing the very people he once called family. This is the core of Vermina's nature, our obscure piece of lore. Her realm, Quagmire, is not a place. It is an ever-shifting, liquidous nightmare. It is a realm that disappears and reappears at her whim. She doesn't just cause nightmares, she collects them, She feeds on them. The terror of the dying, the fear of the lost, these are her sustenance. The miasma, it turns out, wasn't just a defense. It was a harvest. It was a way to keep dozens of souls in a state of perpetual low-grade terror, creating a steady, delicious drip feed for the goddess. They fight their way to the inner sanctum, the heart of the temple. And there it is, a large grotesque staff mounted on an altar. It is made of black gnarled wood and topped with a large, intricately carved skull. The eyes of the skull glow with a malevolent purple light. This, Aranda says, is the skull of corruption. It is the artifact that is channeling Vermina's power, that is projecting the nightmares into Dawnstar. It is protected by a magical barrier. Aranda says there is only one way. He must perform a ritual. He must undo the magic. It will, he says, make him completely vulnerable. Protect me, he pleads with the Dragonborn. Trust me. No matter what happens, let me finish. The Dragonborn, a champion of so many gods, now a bodyguard for one penitent priest, agrees. Aranda begins. He chants in the old tongue. The barrier begins to flicker, and a new voice, a soft, sibilant female voice, echoes in the Dragonborn's mind. He's lying to you, Vermina whispers. He's not trying to destroy the staff. He's trying to claim it. He's a traitor. Two of Aranda's former companions, two high priests, awaken. They attack. The Dragonborn defends Aranda, cutting them down. Aranda. He winces. He is in pain. He's weak, Vermina purrs. Look at him. He falters. He'll betray you. He'll kill you and take the staff for himself. Stop him. Kill him. You deserve the staff. Take it. This is the moment. The great fan debate. Is Aranda lying? Is this whole tragic 30-year story of atonement a scam? Is he, at the last second, going to betray the Dragonborn, just as the goddess of secrets and lies, Mephala, taught them to betray others? The community consensus is no. Erendor is, by all accounts, one of the most decent, morally complex and genuinely good characters in the entire game. His pain is real. His atonement is real. Vermina is just lying. But the Dragonborn has a choice. They can wait. They can let Erendor finish. He will destroy the staff. The nightmares will end. Dawnstar will be saved. And Aranda, his soul finally free, will offer to travel with the Dragonborn, a powerful and compassionate friend. Or the Dragonborn can believe the lie, or they can just not care. They can look at the priest, chanting, his eyes closed, his soul vulnerable, and they can look at the staff, another unique artifact, another piece for the collection. The Dragonborn draws their weapon. Erendor's eyes snap open. He sees the look on the Dragonborn's face, the intent. No, he gasps. Wait, what? Are you... He doesn't get to finish. The Dragonborn, who has been lied to by gods, who's been a tool of corruption, who's been a champion of light, just swings. Erendor crumples. His last pleading gasp echoes in the silent temple. The barrier around the staff evaporates. Yes, Vermina whispers, her voice a purr of pure, triumphant joy. He would have betrayed you. Now, take your reward. The Dragonborn steps over the warm body of the only man who has ever truly confessed to them. They pick up the staff, the skull of corruption, and its power is vile. It's not just a damaged staff, it harvests dreams. The Dragonborn can charge it. How? By pointing it at sleeping people, at allies, at Balgruf, at Lydia. They can steal the dreams of their friends, and the staff grows stronger. It becomes more powerful. It is a tool of psychic vampirism. It is perhaps the single darkest artifact they have yet acquired, a trophy from a man they murdered in cold blood. The Dragonborn leaves Dawnstar. The air is clean and the sun is bright. But in their mind, there is only the echo of Aranda's final, confused, "Wait, what are you?" The skull of corruption is heavy. It's not a physical weight. It is a cold, pulling psychic dread. It's a monument to the moment the Dragonborn stopped being a victim of Daedric manipulation and became a willing participant. They had a choice, a clear choice, between a good man and a new, shiny object. And they chose the object. The people of Dawnstar are relieved. Their nightmares are over. They hail the Dragonborn as a hero. They thank them. And the Dragonborn smiles and nods. The lie, the dark, rotting, delicious lie, sits in their heart. It feels uncomfortably good. This is a new, terrible precipice. The Daedric quests are becoming easier. The moral wince is fading. They need a change of scenery. They need to get away from the snow, the gloom, the gods. They need to go somewhere where the only god is the one that clinks. They need to go to Riften. Riften, the city in the golden-leafed rift built on the bones of a burnt-out town. It's a city of opportunity. The air is damp, smelling of the canals, the mead hall, and the pervasive underlying scent of crime. It is the perfect place to launder a soul. The Dragonborn walking through the marketplace is looking for work, not save the world work, just work. And a voice, a smooth, confident, lilting voice cuts through the din. "Never done an honest day's work in your life, have you, lad?" The man's name is Brynjolf. He's leaning against a stall, all red hair, stubble, and the kind of pure, unadulterated confidence that money can't buy, but stealing it apparently can. He has an offer, a simple job. Plant a ring on a merchant, frame him. Simple, clean, thievery. The Dragonborn, who has at this point murdered, betrayed, and consorted with the darkest powers in the void, is asked to perform a petty crime. They ace it. Brynjolf is impressed. "You've got it, lad." He invites them for a real job, down in the Ratway, the Ragged Flagon, the headquarters of the Thieves Guild. The Dragonborn enters a new world. It's not a temple, it's not a palace, it's a sewer, but it's homey. It's a community, a dark, damp, dysfunctional family of pickpockets, smugglers, and failures. The guild is in trouble. They are introduced to the guildmaster, a man of precision, Mercer Frey. Mercer is not like the other thieves. He's not a jovial, ale-swilling rogue. He is cold, he is articulate, he is dangerous. He carries 2 ornate blades, and he has a job. This is what the Dragonborn wanted, a simple, transactional quest. Mercer wants information. He wants to break into a house, Riftweald Manor, a place he owns, or owned. It's complicated. It's now held by a man named Vald. Mercer needs in, and he needs the Dragonborn to help. The Dragonborn does the prep work, intimidates the guard, finds the key, and they meet Mercer at the manor. He is already there. He didn't need the key. He just picks the master lock. Impressive, aren't I? He smirks. The house is opulent, but awas, cold. Mercer is not here for the furniture. He leads the Dragonborn to the basement, to a fake wardrobe. He triggers a switch. The back slides open. A dark, cold wind blows from below. "After me," Mercer commands, "and try not to die." This is where the fan community argues. Mercer Frey is not just a thief. He is a nightingale. He's one of the chosen of Nocturnal, the Daedric Prince of Night, Shadow, and Luck. This is the obscure lore. The Thieves Guild is not just a guild. Its success is powered by a pact that Mercer has broken. The Dragonborn at this point knows nothing of this. They just see a master at work. The tunnels are a nightmare. They are filled traps, pressure plates that trigger the battering rams, poison darts, swinging blades, and Mercer just walks. Mind the skulls, he whispers as a gate of spikes slams down where the Dragonborn was about to step. He is uncanny. His luck is perfect. He knows every trap. He disarms them with a flick of his wrist. He is arrogant. He is taunting the Dragonborn. Keep up. And then the Famer, the blind, pale, skittering elves of the deep. They are here in a basement in Riften. How? Mercer cuts them down. His blades are a blur. The Dragonborn is just a witness. They reach the end. A vault. Mercer is furious. The vault is empty. He knew. That rat, Kalia, knew. He is ranting. He is distracted. And the Dragonborn sees it in the corner on a red velvet cushion in a master-locked display case. A sword. It's not Daedric artifact. It's not black and spiky. It is beautiful. It is glass, but blue glass. It looks like it was carved even from a glacier. It hums. It is cold. It is Chillrend. This is a legend. This blade, or one like it was last seen in Cyrodiil 200 years ago, an artifact of the Oblivion Crisis. How did it get here? Mercer stole it, of course. He stole it. He is a collector of unique and priceless things. He is still ranting. Your eyes gone. The Dragonborn looks at Mercer and looks at the lock. This is a thieves' den. This is work. The Dragonborn pulls out their lockpicks. Click, clack, snap. A pick breaks. Click, the case springs open. Mercer doesn't notice. The Dragonborn takes to the sword. The cold shoots up their arm. It is pure frost. It feels alive. Its power is simple. It freezes. It burns with cold, and it has a chance to paralyze, to stop an enemy dead in their tracks. Come on, snarls. We're leaving. The Dragonborn hides the sword. They follow. They have stolen from the guild master on their first real job. They emerge into the Riften cemetery. The Dragonborn looks at the blade. Chillrend. It is cold. It is clean. It is immoral. It is not evil. It is not good. It is just a tool. A perfect tool. And for once, it isn't whispering at them. The Dragonborn leaves the Ratway, the damp, familiar stench of the sewer home fading behind them. They leave Riften. The cold, blue, glacial weight of Chillrend is in their pack, a silent, beautiful, stolen thing. It's a new kind of acquisition. It wasn't a reward. It wasn't given. It wasn't taken in a fight. It was just stolen. A simple, selfish and opportunistic theft. And no one knows. Mercer was ranting. He didn't see. This is a new feeling. It's cleaner than the guilt of Erendur's murder. It's quieter than the booming commands of Meridia. It's just profit. But Mercer will notice eventually. The Dragonborn, for all their Daedric-fueled power, feels prudent. They feel the need to disappear, to lie low, to be somewhere else, somewhere far away. They travel to Windhelm, the greyer city, the coldest city. The docks smell of ice and salt and fish. The Nords here are hard. The dark elves huddle in their slum. It is city of endings and beginnings. Rumour, a new rumour, not Daedra, not vampires, cultists, men in grotesque masks. They keep hunting the Dragonborn. They say the Dragonborn is a fake. They serve the true Dragonborn, a boat, a grizzled Nord captain, Gjallan Salt Sage. He's seen them. Those fools, he spits. They paid me to come here from Solstheim. Never again. Place is cursed. Solstheim, an island, an ash-choked island in the sea, far away. I will want passage, the Dragonborn says. Gjalland grunts. It's your funeral and your coin, 250 septims. The year's journey is long, the sea is grey, the sky is grey, the Dragonborn's soul is on grey. They stand on the deck. They are cold. Wind whips at them. It feels good. It feels clean. And then they see it. The red mountain. A purple bruise on the horizon. Smoking. Always smoking. They dock at Raven Rock. This is not Skyrim. This architecture is alien. Curved shells, giant mushrooms. The Susgards are Redoran. The people are Dunmer, dark elves. Their faces are hard. Their eyes are red. They look at the Dragonborn with suspicion, apathy. The air smells of ash. This is perfect. The Dragonborn is anonymous for now. They go to this tavern. The retching netch, the local drink, is Sujamma. It burns a story. An old Dunmer, a miner. He complains. The mine's dry. All we find is ice and bones. Old Nord bones. Another man, an imperial, old, obsessed Crescius Corellius. He raves. It's not just bones. It's a tomb. Bloodskal. Barrow. My grandfather knew. He died. Down. There. He turns to the Dragonborn. The new face. You look capable. The For East Empire Company has sealed the mine. My mine. They are hiding something. Find my grandfather's journal. Prove me right. The Dragonborn hears one word. Barrow. They agree. Crescius gives them the key. They go to Raven Rock Mine. The mine is too dark. The air is thick. It turns from ash to ice. The digging has broken into an ancient Nordic tomb. The walls are frozen and Draugr. They are here. The Dragonborn fights. Chillrend hums. The frost damage feels at home in the ice. They delve deeper past the mine into the barrow proper. They find it a large chamber, a waterfall of ice and a body, not a Draugr, a man in miner's clothes, frozen, dead for decades. This is Crescius's grandfather, and in his hands is journal, and beside him is a greatsword. It is stuck in a stone. No, it is resting on a plinth. It is ancient. It is Nordic, but different. The metal has a faint red sheen. The hilt is simple, but the blade of a long groove down its center glows a faint crimson light. This is the Bloodskal Blade. The Dragonborn takes it. The dead don't mind. The journal is there. The quest is over, but the way out is blocked. A massive stone door. It is covered in carvings, runes, and the runes are glowing red. The Dragonborn looks at the door. They look at the sword. The glow is the same. This is just his key, a very large key. This is Dragonborn key swings. It is heavy, clumsy, but then they power attack, to forward lunge, voom, a ribbon, a beam of pure red energy. It flies from the blade. It strikes the kill wall 20 feet away. It explodes in a flash of red light. The Dragonborn stares. They do it again. A sideways power attack. Reap. Horizontal beam. It cuts through the air. This is the sword that shoots lasers. This is the obscure lore. This is ancient Atmaran magic from before this dragon cult, when magic and metal were one. The energy beam is not an enchantment. It is an extension of the swing. The fan community argues. Is it good? The damage is fixed at high levels. It's weak, but they miss the point. It's not a weapon. It's a tool. It's a great sword that thinks it's a bow. It staggers. It interrupts. It is glorious. The Dragonborn looks at the door. One rune is glowing. It is horizontal. The Dragonborn smiles. They stand back. They perform sideways power attack. Vireep. The beam flies. It hits the rune. Grind. The rune fades. The door shudders. The vertical rune lights up. The Dragonborn does forward power attack. Woom. Grind. It is a puzzle, a rushed rhythm game, a symphony of violence. Vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. The door groans and opens. Barrow waits. It is filled with Draugr. The Dragonborn walks in. Draugr shouts from a high ledge. Frost bolt flies. The Dragonborn power attacks. Voom. The ball red beam hits the Draugr in the chest. It staggers, falls off the core ledge. This changes everything. They fight through to the end. O dragon priest Zakrisos. He rises from his tomb. He is the master of lightning. He summons storm. The Dragonborn raises Spellbreaker. The lightning hits the kill ward and dies. Zakrisos floats back. The Dragonborn swings the Bloodskal Blade. It is a laser. He fight. The priest falls. The Dragonborn loots his mask. Another unique item. They leave. They find Cretius in the tavern. They give him his journal. My grandfather, he cries. He wasn't mad. Thank you. Did you find it? The treasure? The Dragonborn looks at him. The lie is so easy now. It was low junk, they say. Just old Nordic junk. They walk out into the ashy sunlight. They have a laser sword. The Bloodskal Blade is a novelty. a strange and wonderful piece of ancient laser-firing technology. But Solstheim is a hard place. The ash is abrasive, the local Dunmer are insular, and the creatures, the ash spawn and the other things that lurk in the grey mists are a special kind of trouble. The Dragonborn, having hidden from Mercer Frey, now finds themselves on a new, strange and deeply alien frontier. But Skyrim pulls. The call of the homeland, of the main quest, of the dozens of other Daedric princes who are probably feeling neglected is strong, and perhaps they just miss the colour green. They return to Skyrim, the boat cutting through the cold grey sea. They land back in Windhelm, the Bloodskal Blade heavy on their back, a secret from a secret island. But the mainland is not the sanctuary they hoped for. As they travel, they begin to see them. Vigilance of Stendar on the road, questioning travellers. Dawnguard patrols, gruff and armoured, walking with their grim, armoured trolls. The vampire menace, which had been a whisper, is now a scream. The Dragonborn on their travels is approached by an orc, a new member of the Dawnguard Durak, who is recruiting. The sun is dying, he says. The vampires, they have a prophecy. This is the beginning of a new, grand and terrible path. But the Dragonborn, before they commit to another apocalypse, finds something. In the pocket of a dead vampire or a dead vigilant, or just in a book, in a forgotten crypt, they find a note. It is not a quest. It is a journal. The journal of a woman named Catria. "I found it," the journal begins, the handwriting a frantic scrawl. "After all these years, the proof, Arkenthams, the legends, are true." The journal is a mess of half-crazed, brilliant, obsessive notes. It speaks of the Ethereum Forge, a legendary Dwemer place, where the deep elves, it was said, could work. Ethereum, not steel, not ebony, but the stuff of the gods. The pure, crystalline, magical residues of creation. The journal speaks of a great, terrible betrayal, of a rival, a man named Taran Dreth, of her life's work being stolen. The Dragonborn who has just stolen children from Mercer Frey feels a twinge of empathy or professional curiosity. The journal points the way to the south, far to the south, in the deepest, most remote, most vertical corner of the Reach. The journey to Arkenthams is a climb. It is not a dungeon you find. It is a dungeon you survive, reaching. The Dragonborn, using goat-like physics-defying leaps, scales a series of treacherous, crumbling mountain paths. The wind screams. It is a lonely, desolate, broken place, and the ruin itself is shattered. A cataclysm has happened here. A massive earthquake. The very mountain has split open. The Dwemer city is cleft in two. A vast canyon drops away into nothing. The Dragonborn steps inside, and a voice, a woman's voice. "Go back," she cries. "It's not safe, you idiot. You'll die just like I did." Ghost. Woman in adventurer's gear. She is glowing. She is spectral, and she is annoyed. "This is Catria. She is dead. She fell. The earthquake, the ruin, it claimed her. You're still here?" She sighs. Fine. You clearly don't listen. You're as bad as Taran. All right. Just watch your step and try not to touch anything that whirs." Catria, the ghost, becomes the Dragonborn's guide. A snarky, sarcastic, profoundly dead guide. The dungeon is vertical. It is descent. Spiral down the edge of the chasm. The sound of just rushing water and grinding metal is deafening, and the former, they are here. But here, this is the core in-game fact. Arkantham's is different. The Dwemer automatons, the spiders, the spheres, they are fighting the Fulmer. It is a three-way war. The Dragonborn, the Fulmer, and the machines. The city is still active. It is still defending itself from invaders. Catria provides commentary. Don't step there. That's where I slipped. Oh, nice shot. You almost looked like you knew what you were doing. This is not a Daedric quest. This is an archaeological expedition with a ghost. They delve deeper. They find Catria's camp, her old notes, her journal. The Dragonborn can read her story, her obsession, her brilliance, and her tragic end. And there, in her pack, or no, near her request body, the one that fell, they find it down on a ledge near raging underground river, a bow. It is Dwemer. It is small. It is unadorned. It is simple. It is Zephyr. The Dragonborn picks it up. It feels light. It feels fast. My bow, Catria's ghost whispers, a moment of sadness. I loved that bow. It never failed me until gravity did. You take it better, you, than some skittering Fulmer. The Dragonborn equips it. They draw the string, whip. The arrow is gone. They draw again. Whip, 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 whip. This is Zephyr's power. It is not enchanted. It is engineered. Its enchantment is mechanical. It fires 30% faster than any other bow. This is the fan debate. Is it good? A Daedric bow of the stallion can be smithed to do 500 damage. It can have 2 enchantments: fire, soul, trap, paralysis. Zephyr is just fast, and they are wrong. All of them. The damage per second. Crowd loves this bow. It is a machine gun in a world of muskets. The Dragonborn can stagger, lock a Draugr, death, lord, whip, 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 whip. The creature can't even move. It just stutters, dies. This is the obscure lore. Zephyr is not a weapon of war. It is feat of pure engineering. The Dwemer didn't just use magic. They mastered physics, the cams, the gears that would draw weight. It is a perfect compound bow. The Dragonborn now has it. They continue their descent. Catria and the Dragonborn. Zephyr sings. F-whip, whip, whip. The Fulmer fall. The your automatons crumple. They reach the bottom. The forge, a massive metal cavern, a device, a lever, a list of recipes. The Ethereum forge, it is real. Catria weeps. I did it. I found it. The Dragonborn uses it. They craft a piece of Ethereum, a crown, a shield, a staff. It's always the crown. The community knows it's always the crown. The ability just to hold 2 standing stone powers is too good to pass up. This quest is over. Catria is at peace. Thank you, she whispers. My story is told, and my name is cleared. Now go, and if you see Taryn, Dreth, tell him from me that he is a traitorous son of Skiva, and she fades. The Dragonborn climbs out, back into the Skyrim sun. They have a fast bow. They have an ancient crown, and later, much later, they will find Taran Dreth. He will be on the road. He will be bragging. He will claim he discovered the forge. He will attack the Dragonborn to silence them, and the Dragonborn will draw Zephyr, Fwip, Fwip, Fwip for Catria. Avenging Catria's legacy feels good. Using Zephyr to put an arrow in the thieving, self-aggrandizing Taran Dreth is a clean, simple act of justice, a rare thing in the Dragonborn's line of work. The bow itself, a masterpiece of Dwemer engineering, fires with a satisfying mechanical fwip, a sound of pure lethal efficiency. The Dragonborn has become, in many ways, a curator of the lost Dwemer race. They wield Spellbreaker, a shield of Dwemer design. They have hefted Volendrung, the very hammer that named a continent. And now they have Zephyr. They are an expert in a field that has no living practitioners. This expertise, this growing obsession with the Deep Elves, draws them, inevitably, to the one place in Skyrim where such an obsession is considered normal. They travel north to the last broken-toothed bastion of civilization on the northern coast, to the College of Winterhold. The college is a place of profound isolation, a single, soaring, impossible bridge of stone connecting the mundane, ruined town of Winterhold to a fortress of higher learning. The wind never stops. It is a constant, screaming, ice-filled presence. The air smells of ozone, old, dry, crumbling parchment, and the deep, cold, empty salt of the Sea of Ghosts, which churns thousands of feet directly below. The Dragonborn, a being who has supped with Daedric princes and stolen the dreams of sleeping men, is enrolled as an apprentice. It is, frankly, adorable. They are shown to their quarters, a small, cold stone room with a bed and a chest, like a first-year university student, and they are surrounded by academics. This is a new, and in many ways more terrifying kind of monster. People obsessed, people driven. And among them all is a man named Arniel Gain. Arniel is a fusspot. He is the walking, breathing, perpetually stressed embodiment of a graduate student who has been working on his thesis for 30 years. He is always busy, always fretting. He's convinced the other mages are stealing his spoons. The Dragonborn, in a moment of either boredom or pity, offers to help. Arniel's project is ambitious and deeply heretical. He is investigating the disappearance of the Dwemer. This, in academic circles, is the equivalent of trying to build a perpetual motion machine. It's career, suicide. Everyone knows. You can't know. But Arniel, he has a theory. His requests at first are mundane. He is the only person in Skyrim, it seems, who actually wants the dozens of Dwemer cogs the Dragonborn has been hoarding for 6 months. 10 of them, he says, and don't be seen. The Archmage doesn't approve of my research. The Dragonborn, who's probably clanking so loud from the 400 pounds of Dwemer scrap in their backpack that they can be heard in the next hold, just hands them over. Arniel is delighted, but his research escalates. He has a plan. He sends the Dragonborn on a strange errand to find a specific dwarven convector, to find unique soul gem, and to heat it, to warp it, to change its very nature. The Dragonborn, who has literally stolen souls with the Mace of Molag Bal, just nods. It's a Tuesday. They return. They give Arniel the warped soul gem. It glows with a sickly, unstable light. Arniel's is trembling, not with fear, with excitement. "It's ready," he whispers. "The final step. I just need an assistant, a witness, in case the others try to steal my work." The Dragonborn waits. Arniel's gesture. Table. On it is the glowing, warped gem, and next to it is a dagger. A strange dagger. It looks Dwemer, but different. It hums. It glows faintly. "Do you know what this is?" Arniel breathes, his eyes manic. "This is keening. And there it is. This is the obscure lore. This is everything. In the first era, the Dwemer, they found it, the heart of Lorcan, the literal, beating, still living heart of dead god buried beneath Red Mountain. And a Dwemer, tonal architect, Kagranak, had plan. He forged 3 tools: Sunder, the hammer; Wraithguard, the gauntlet; and Rakinin, the dagger. His plan was to tap the heart, to strike it, to use its divine power, to make his entire race immortal, to make them gods. The fan debate is eternal. Did it work? Did they ascend? Or did he miss a decimal point when he struck the heart with the tools? Every single Dwemer in all of Tamriel at the exact same moment just vanished. They didn't die. They didn't leave. They were just gone. Zero-summed, a rounding error in the Storm God's equation. These tools were so powerful that in Morrowind, just touching, keening, without Wraithguard, would flay your soul. It would kill you instantly. And Arniel Gain is holding it. But it's safe. Now he insists, seeing the Dragonborns. "Look, I theorize that when the Nerevarine destroyed the heart all those years ago, it severed the connection. The tools are diminished, inert, safe." His plan is insane. He is going to reenact the war of the First Council here in a dorm room. His warped soul gem is the substitute heart. Keening is the tool. "Stand back," he mutters. "Just watch." He lifts the dagger. His hand is shaking. He holds the glowing gem. He strikes. It clang. Dull. Flat. Sound. Nothing. Arniel grunts. No, no. It must work. Strikes. It again. Harder. Chime. Sound like tiny bell. The light flares. "Yes," Arniel cries. "Yes, I am Kagranak." Lifts dagger high for the third strike. "I am Kagranak, and I am sane." He plunges the dagger into the gem. There is flash, blinding white light. Sound, not sound. Pressure. Pop. Feeling of sudden emptiness. The light fades. The Dragonborn blinks. The room alone. They wait 1 second, 2, he's not coming back. Slowly, the Dragonborn bends. They reach down. They pick up the dagger. Nothing. Arniel was right. It's diminished. The god-killing power is gone. Its enchantment is whisper. It drains 10 points of health, magicka, and stamina, but its charge is infinite. It never needs to be refilled. It is flicker of divinity. The Dragonborn now owns Keening, one of the most important, legendary, world-changing artifacts in the history of Tamriel, and all it cost was fussy, brilliant, insane mage who thought he was God. The Dragonborn pockets the dagger. They walk out of the room. No one even noticed. The College of Winterhold is quiet. After Arniel gains spectacular, if small-scale success at replicating a racial apocalypse, the other mages don't notice. They're too busy arguing over whose turn it is to re-enchant the magical lights. But the Dragonborn knows. They are now the sole secret curator of Keening, a dagger that holds the final metaphysical scream of a man who touched a god and proved his own insane point. This kind of power, the power of knowing, is an isolating thing. The Dragonborn, a walking, clanking vault of Daedric secrets, Dwemer technology, and now a tool that erased a man from existence, feels bored. The intellectual life is dull. The dragons are becoming routine. The endless petty conflicts of Jarls and their stewards are tedious. They crave a new purpose, a family. And as with so many lonely souls in Skyrim, they find one. It begins, as it always does, with a rumour. In the grey, bitter-cold streets of Windhelm, the Dragonborn hears whispers of a boy, a child, a Ventus Aretino. They say he's trying to perform the Black Sacrament. He's trying to hire the Dark Brotherhood. The Dragonborn, whose moral compass is now just a useless spinning piece of decorative metal, is intrigued. They find the boy's house. The door is locked, easily picked. Inside it stinks, the smell of death, but old and new. The boy, Aventus, is there. He is chanting. He's in a circle of nightshade and bones and a human heart. He is so earnest. He's adorable. He sees the Dragonborn and he assumes, "You're from the Brotherhood," he whispers, his eyes wide with a terrible misplaced joy. "I knew you'd come." He gives them their contract. A woman, Grelad the Kind, an orphanage matron in Riften. "She's evil," the boy whispers. "Please, kill her." The Dragonborn, who has murdered Eranda for a stick, just nods. It's an errand. They travel to Riften. They find the orphanage. They kill Grelad in front of the children. The children cheer. This is new. The Dragonborn has never heard applause for this kind of work before. It feels warm. They leave. They sleep in a cozy bed, and they wake up in a shack. It's damp. It smells of blood and dust. A womaness is there, Astrid, in black leather. She is not impressed. "You stole a kill," she says. Her voice is low, rasp. "Our mother wants payment. Life for life. Look around." 3 hostages, hooded, kneeling, terrified. One of them has contract, Astrid says. "You choose. Kill one. Kill all of them. I don't care. Just make someone bleed. The Dragonborn looks at the 3 weeping figures. They look at Astrid. They look at their own hands, which still hold the power of keening. They are a collector, a connoisseur. They draw their weapon and kill all 3 efficiently, without a word. Astrid laughs. A dry, crackling sound. Now that's how you send message. Welcome to the family, brother or sister. And so it begins. The Dragonborn is natural. This is not a job. It is a vocation. They thrive in the darkness of the Dawnstar Sanctuary. The other members, sadistic jester, goth, vampire, girl, werewolf, who loves cooking. They are oddly charming. The kills are creative. Poison, magic, and a falling gargoyle. It's art. But the story of the Brotherhood is tragedy. Story of betrayal. Astrid, their new mother, is desperate, broken. She betrays the Dragonborn. She betrays Sithis, the sanctuary. Burns. The Dragonborn survives. They rise from the flames. Their heart is cold. The family is to dead. All that is left is the contract. The big one, the Emperor Titus Medicen, he is in Skyrim on his personal command ship, the Kateria. It is docked in Solitude. This is just the climax, the final act of a dying organization. The Dragonborn slips into the waters of the Solitude Bay. The ship is a mountain of wood and steel. They climb the anchor chain. Ghost, whose shadow, the ship is crawling with Penitus, Oculatus, agents, the Emperor's finest. They are not good enough. The Dragonborn moves, whisper of steel, a gurgle, a body slumping into the shadows. Children is a blue streak in the moonlight. Zephyr is silent, whip from the rigging. The deck is clear, but the Dragonborn is a collector. They are thief. They are looter. They do not just kill. They explore before they go below decks to find this old man in his cabin. They look around the bow of the ship, this long pole that sticks out the bowsprit. It is a treacherous place. The wind howls. The tall sea churns hundreds of feet below. It is place of no value. No one would ever go out here except the Dragonborn. They walk carefully, edging out along the thick beam of wood to the very tip, and there, stuck, jammed into the wood, pointing out at the horizon, a scimitar. It is not glowing. It is not Daedric. It is an elegant, curved, simple scimitar. This is the great fan mystery. How did it get here? This is the Emperor's flagship. It is the most secure vessel in Tamriel, who ran all the way out to the end of the bowsprit and jammed scimitar into it. Was it board guard? A kid developer's prank? Message? The law is silent. It is the ultimate Easter egg, a treasure hidden in the most impossible, ridiculous to place. The Dragonborn takes it, of course. They take it. The name is Windshear, and its power is a secret. It's not in the enchantment text. The cursed text is a lie. It says bashing has chance to be knocked down. The reality is so much more. The Dragonborn finds out later in fight. They raise the blade to block. The enemy swings and stops, staggers, as if hit by ghost. The Dragonborn bashes. The enemy staggers every single time. The Dragonborn power attacks. The enemy staggers every single time. This is the infamous, glorious bug that became a feature. Windshear is not a weapon. It is no button. It is the ultimate staggerlock. The Dragonborn can walk up to an ancient dragon. Bash, slash, bash, slash, bash, slash. The dragon cannot move. It cannot breathe fire. It cannot fight back. It can only stutter, flinch, and die. It is the most broken, overpowered, game-destroying weapon in existence. It is not sword. It is an I win command. The Dragonborn pockets this ultimate, game-breaking cheat, and then they go below to kill the Emperor. It's almost an afterthought. The Dragonborn stands on the cold, dark deck of the Kataria, the wind whipping their cloak. In their hand they hold Windshear, a simple, curved blade of imperfect mathematics, a bug, a cheat, an I win button given physical form. Below decks, the Emperor of Tamriel, a tired old man, is waiting to die, and the Dragonborn, the master of assassins, the wielder of a sword that makes all combat meaningless, just waits. This is the end. The final logical conclusion of the quest for unique weapons. The Dragonborn has found the weapon that makes all other weapons obsolete. They have, in a very real, tangible way, broken the entire concept of a fair fight. They are the game-breaking bug. Killing the Emperor for is just paperwork. They leave the ship. They collect their reward. They return to the burned, blackened ruin of the Dawnstar Sanctuary. They are the leader, the listener. They are the master of a guild of two, a man, a vampire child, and a jester. It is empty. The collection is not complete. Windshear is just power, but it is not story. The Dragonborn remembers. They remember a ghost, a snarky, brilliant dead woman. They remember Macatria. They remember the Ethereum Forge, the quest, lost to the ages. It haunts them. Catria's journal. It spoke of shards. 4 of them. The Dragonborn in their travels has found them in the bottom of Zulft, in the ruins of Raldpathar, in the steep folk crossing. They have the pieces. They have the hidden key. They return back, down, into the earth, past the ruins of the giants and the Hafolma, to the Ethereum Forge. It waits, silent, the last great work of the Votdwemer. This is the obscure lore. This Ethereum wars. The Dwemer didn't just vanish at once. First, they tore themselves apart over this forge, this single source of divine metal. The city-states of the Dwemer bled each other white for control of this single room. It weakened their entire civilization. It was the prologue to their own erasure. And now the Dragonborn is here. The forge hums. It is ready to make one last thing. The choice, the great fan debate, the ethereal crown to wear, two standing stone powers at once to combine the lover stone and this warrior stone and level up everything at once. It is a power gamer's dream. It is pure utility. The ethereal shield, a tool of pure comedy to shield bash and go enemy and turn them into a harmless ethereal ghost for 15 seconds to run past them and go laugh, or for the staff, the ethereal staff. The Dragonborn looks at the options. They are already God. They have Windshear. They do not need more power. They do not need more jokes. They are a collector, and yet the staff is the story. They just choose the staff. The forge roars. The lava flows. The ancient hammers fall, and it is done. The standard of Aetherius. It is a simple, elegant Dwemer rod. The Dragonborn raises it. They point it at the wire ground. Whir, clank, hiss, a Dwemer spider, a tiny, skittering bronze guardian. It chirps, it waits for its orders. The Dragonborn does it again. Whir, clank, hiss, a Dwemer sphere, the rolling ball of death. It unfurls, it draws its blade. This is the secret. The staff is not a summoning staff. It is a factory. It consumes a piece of Dwemer scrap from the Dragonborn's inventory and builds Guardian. It is tiny echo of the Dwemer dream, not immortality, not godhood, but creation, the ability to make a thing. It is a toy. It is the last working toy from dead Racer's playroom. The Dragonborn has it. The collection is complete, from the Ebony Blade that feeds on betrayal to the ethereal staff that builds friend. They have them all, and the weight. The Dragonborn feels the weight of it all. The metal, the souls, the whispers, the lies. The adventure is over. The long night of acquisition is done. The Dragonborn travels home. Maybe it's Breeze home, the simple, cozy house in Whiterun. The smell of Lydia upstairs eating bread. The sound of the fire in the central pit. It is late. The moon is high. The Dragonborn walks to a chest. Simple wooden chest. It is empty. One by one, they put them away. The ethereal staff. Clank, Windshear, shing, keening, click. The Bloodskal Blade. Thud, chillrend, clink. The skull of corruption. The whispers go silent as it falls. The sanguine, rose, Volendrung, spellbreaker, the Wobberjack. It seems to giggle as it lands. Dawnbreaker, its light fades. The Mace of Molag Bal, Mehrunes Razor, the Ebony Blade. The Dragonborn closes the lid. The click of the lock is the loudest sound in this world. The room is quiet. There was whispers. Gone. There's his weight is just lifted. There is just no quest. There is just no prince. There is just no artifact. There is just the soft crackle of this is fire. This is faint sound of wind outside the warm walls. This feeling of a heavy blanket. The journey is over. The chronicle is closed. That your long night can finally end, and all that is left is the feeling of well-deserved and heavy sleep.